Hello and welcome to Good Morning RPG. My name is Leia and Matt's no longer with us. No, just kidding. Matt is
Hey,
dealing with some
what?
technical
That's
issues.
I'm not dead.
Well, yeah, because you're the first who's got OBS. So,
It's only when I drink milk. But I'm going to go back on mute because I'm panicking.
yes, you figure out. Matt is figuring out a thing. And it's just me for now. Which makes this a very one-sided conversation. Awkward. Just kidding. Howdy, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this most, I know, if here it's this most snowy day. We got like 8 inches of snow, which was lovely. The whole state has like shut down. Not the whole state, but everybody's freaking out because it's snow. So, here we are. And then, yeah, Matt's taking care of his thing. It is snow. Snow is stress. As a New Yorker who basically almost grew up in Canada, it's not as bad for me. I think it's really pretty, but I don't like driving in it. But that's mostly because people here don't know how to drive in it. So that is that stresses me out, is other people on the road. I recently went to a D&D show over the weekend called Winter Fantasy, and I had to drive through like 4 different states, and man, people know how to drive, especially people in Ohio. I thought people with turn signals were really bad here in Virginia, but in Ohio, like, what's a turn signal? Oh, it is. I know everyone from New York says that if you need to drive somewhere, you just don't. So I'm not from New York City. I'm from upstate New York. Because I know that is a thing that people say in the city. Because it is absolutely horrendous to drive in New York City. Like when you go there, you want to plan on your trip being driveless. Take public transport or be able to walk places. Driving there is the worst. I know that from, like, I went to a choir thing in New York City one time, and we did have to take buses. It is the work. Is it because of our city? But it's not just you, Elliot. This is something that's like when I tell people I'm from New York and they're like, oh, I'm from Boston. And I'm like, I meant the state, because there's a whole other state other than just New York City. I'm from a little place called Rochester. It's by Buffalo. It is like 40 minutes from Canada. So we spend a lot of time in Canada. Like specifically the Niagara Falls area, because there's lots of stuff to do over there. Actually, there isn't. Well, maybe there is a Washington. No, there is a Washington state. I drove through it over the weekend. It's called Washington, Pennsylvania. But if you're thinking about Washington, D.C., it is technically not a city. It is a district. But yeah, there is, and they're on totally opposite sides of the country. Of course, Washington State, Washington, DC, District of Columbia. That doesn't sound right. I live here, and it's great. I love it here. It's actually the worst. I mean, but because, like, what is it? Like, there's like Kansas City, and it's not in Kansas. I think it's actually in Arkansas. I might be misremembering exactly. I think my favorite example of how confusing America is here on this channel. I watched, I believe they were playing Kids on Bikes. And the particular camp was in Colorado. And I think people were confused as to where Colorado is in America, because there was a bunch of mooses in it, and like it sounded like that the players thought that Colorado is really close to the Canadian border, It's not. It's actually closer to the Mexican border. It just has a bunch of mountains in it, so it does have some very mountainous northern. No, Colorado is like down by Arizona and I think. Oh no, how good am I at my states? Hold on. I might sound like a total. See, this is why the American education system is great. Okay. It's like middle America, but it is just north of Texas. It's right above New Mexico and Arizona and Texas, like right in there. It's middle America, but it is not as close to Canada as people think it is. So that's a whole thing. There's too many states, and there's 50 states. You gotta remember them all, and it's horrendous. There's only 5 places in Australia to live. Yeah, I've been learning that. Having an Australian as your bestie.
The doctor.
What doctor?
You.
I'm not a doctor.
I bring gifts though.
What is this?
Try them. Try it.
Brain freeze. This sounds like a mistake.
Try it.
It doesn't have alcohol in it,
No,
right?
no, it's not. There's no alcohol.
They're
freeze-dried Skittles.
Oh, Alex just brought me freeze-dried Skittles. It looks like popcorn in here.
Yeah, they taste like Fruity Pebbles.
I guess that's what America, folks. They do taste like Fruity Pebbles.
They do.
Well, they're very stabby.
Oh, yeah,
This is perfect. Thank you for doing this while I have to be here on my own.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. Anybody want to watch her put a Band-Aid on?
No! Nobody wants to see your arm. Matt is having some technical difficulties, so I'm all here by myself.
Okay.
And here you are. You're going to make me get off screen.
For temporary. For just a little bit.
These are fucking weird. They're like freeze-dried candy. It's freeze-dried Skittles. Somebody bought Skittles,
But
freeze-dries them,
look at the front pack.
and then
They're not actually Skittles. They're fruit-flavored candy.
Dude, there's an S on them.
Yeah, I know.
Tell me, where is it?
I know, but they can't say Skittles because I don't think they have.
I just saw one with the S on
They
it.
have the right 2 Skittles.
Here it is.
Yeah.
There's a little S on there, like Skittles. That's a fucking Skittle.
They're good though.
These are fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I know.
Freeze-dried feels like a scam because it looks like you get more than you do.
It is. This is basically air-filled Skittles.
Yeah.
Although it does look like it's a sizable bag of Skittles. Like, I don't know how many he's had, but like,
I've had like 4.
it's like that big around. That's like, I would say that's like 2 bags of Skittles right here. They sound nice, like
ASMR.
rain.
Are we
Yeah, like
Are we
ASMR.
doing ASMR right now?
It's the only thing I have right now. I have to talk my ass off while Matt isn't here.
Well,
I said that Matt was somewhere else. He got real upset that I implied that he was gone forever.
we're doing product placement now. Kidding.
Ew. If anything, I feel like we need to be getting like a Games Workshop promotion over here.
Oh, sponsor? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Anybody who knows Games Workshop, sponsor us.
Oh, get out of here. I opened this package at both ends and it both ripped. Especially after how our Krieg box came. Ooh, Matt, if you can hear me, remind me to tell you about what happened with that Krieg box.
Yeah.
Matt's not here. You can do what you want. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Because if you're done, friends... I can never remember what that line is or how it's said. Yeah. No friend of mine. Stop playing with it. Make sure you're off screen.
I am. That's fine.
BRB, guys. I have to put a band-aid on my husband because he's a child.
Yes, such a big child. That's why I got the big Band-Aid.
You might want peroxide.
No, not yet. Bad.
You tell me.
Mm,
Okay.
we'll see how it looks tomorrow.
Let's see. You're gonna need to get a much more sober person to look at it tomorrow.
Sober? Oh, right. I don't know, we have doctors on the stream.
No,
Any
there
nurses,
are no doctors here. We have no doctors. You know how much we've had, how many times we've drank the paint water? Pretty sure if there was a doctor watching us, they'd be concerned.
A psychiatrist is different than a doctor. I know they're the same thing somewhat, but they're different.
I didn't mention anything about a psychiatrist. These are huge.
Yeah, I need to cover the whole thing. It's a 4x4.
Ow, your bandage just gave me a paper cut.
Married couple life.
Don't get married. It's not worth it.
Yeah, you gotta take care of stupid people. I.e. me. Well, they're super absorbent, so be careful.
These are the weirdest.
Yeah, they're
Oh, I
they're
don't-
waterproof.
Oh, it feels like chicken skin.
Yeah, they're waterproof.
It's so gross. Stop
I'm
moving.
trying to stay off the
Stop
screen.
moving.
I'm trying to stay off the screen.
I'm gonna rip off so much arm hair.
I don't care.
I'm so,
At
it
this-
even feels like chicken skin on the
At
outside.
this point, I personally don't care.
Alright.
Is that on?
It's on.
Good for you.
Yeah, you probably need it to dry out a little bit.
Well, they said to keep white petroleum jelly.
Yeah,
bags.
but it looks a little...
Oh,
What is going on in chat right now? Get out of here. Nobody wants to see your ginger face.
Oh, hard R. You don't get any more of those. Dark?
Ow. This is what happens when... Ow. Matt leaves me to my own devices. Chaos ensues. Okay, you can leave now. Henceforth.
Okay.
You're distracting me.
Bye, everybody. It's always fun.
No. Oh. Oh no. That's what I get here on the ginger hate. That's me too. I'm sorry. It's specifically husband hate.
Stay together.
It's like 50% ginger. Get over here.
50%.
Can you be a ginger if your regular hair changes to brown? Look at this ginger beard.
Well, this used to be up here. It just migrated down, and now it's gray because.
I don't know if that makes you a ginger anymore. I think you've been shunned by your own people.
So I have to do to work overnight.
I'm just boarding for middle. If the internet cuts out. Oh, well, we hope you stick with us for as long as you can. Speaking of no longer with us, did you see the Duolingo owl is dead? Excuse me, what?
You can see that? It's all over Reddit.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that goes to show that I'm not much of a Redditor. Well, unfortunately, I was hearing about other dramas. Snacky snack. These are weird.
I like them.
It's like popcorn, but Skittles. Well. Oh, excuse me. Now that chaos is over. How's everybody's week going so far? Oh man, apart from Dua Lipa. Oh. Womp womp. That's unfortunate. My stream, this stream might be my in-flight entertainment if it has Wi-Fi. In my experience, I mean, at least in some of the flights that I've taken recently, there has been like Wi-Fi available like in flight, but I guess it depends on the place you're flying from. So far, so good. Good to hear, Elliot. I want to hear when Matt gets back. I want to hear what happened with the Gulthias tree. I need to know. I want to know the tea. I want to know what happened with that, because I have a feeling it was excellent. Good that you're going on holiday finally, Pats. A 3.5-hour flight. Yeah, that'll definitely help. I love when they have that in-flight Wi-Fi and it's like, ooh, I can watch a movie. Ooh. I do. I feel like I vaguely remember that conversation, Elliot. You might have had that while I was still guesting. I do remember making a canon that he's fucking ripped. Bunch of thirsty bitches. I went to a thing over the weekend. So I went to with this D&D show, like I was saying before. And one of the guys comes up to me. We're like at an after party after the games have all wrapped up. And I was talking to somebody and he's like, I didn't realize how many poly couples were in D&D. Like there's like must be a correlation. And I was like, yeah, how else does anybody expect us to fill our D&D groups? We have to be poly. That's like how it works. Need more players in your D&D group? Be poly. You'll figure that out. They'll fill out. I just thought that was funny. But the show was really good. That was very cool. I got to do some more AL. I think it's the last time I'm doing Adventures League though, because it sounds like our company is moving away from Adventures League. I'm very excited about that. Because everybody's like, oh, Leia, you should play. And I was like, I like running games, but I cannot play AL. Adventures League is like a whole other monster opposed to regular play. Like organized play is very involved. Very competitive. I know that I have people who like don't like me calling it competitive D&D, but it feels kind of like competitive D&D. It's wild. So since Matt is still getting some stuff done, I guess I'm going to start painting. I was going to do some dry brushing on my sisters. I just don't want to get into anything too involved, so that's why I'm not working on my I don't even know what they're called. My bubblegum marines. I'm not working on those today. I'm going to be working more on my sisters. I realized that this lady's underdress is supposed to be this like pale, it's an off-white color. So I'm going to be touching this up before I do some dry brushing on my Sisters of Battle, because I've got lots of work on these ladies to do. I think I saw that Matt eventually has some Tau planned. So fingers crossed that will. Ooh, this is chunky. Oh, my Wraithbone is like, needs a good mixin'. Yeah, those are good ones, Saribot. I keep telling myself that I'm going to go through and do all the gold on my sisters, but that's very intimidating. I have a bunch of sisters who are like really, really close to being finished. Like I've got these Seraphim ladies, and they're like, oop, under the camera, Leia. These Seraphim ladies who are really close to being finished. But there are a couple of gold details that still need to be done on most of them. Like this one is like, I think, one of the most done of them. But then I have like these gals who don't have their gold on yet. So it's like, this is the pre-gold and this is the mostly post-gold process. I also have to finish the Bane of Matt's existence. One of these guys, I've got one of these monstrosities to begin to paint up. I haven't figured out what I want to do gold on this guy yet. He's not getting any purple because there's no tabards or of any kind on him. It does not seem like it has Wi-Fi here for a little longer. Well, Pats, if we lose you, know that you are valued, and we hope we see you soon. So, bye. Preemptive bye, but excuse me. Sorry, guys. So yeah, that's kind of the plan, is to work on some sisters today, because I don't want to get into anything super involved. Uh-oh. It sounds like there's like a solid mass in this wraith bone. I don't see anything. And it doesn't sound like it's my mixer ball. It sounds like it's something bigger than my mixer ball. What do I have to poke this with? Toothpick. Oh my god. Okay, that would explain that. There's like solid goop at the bottom of this. Granted, I don't know how old this bottle can't be that bad. That's the new branding. Or it can't be that old. Let's break some of this up. That's fine. Hello, nice to see you guys. Thank you for the bless you. I might even do some painting while I'm in Melbourne. Ooh. I just want to call it Melbourne, or like, I feel like everybody back here calls it Melbourne, and I'm like, nah, it's Melbourne. But that's just how I hear it said, like, all the time. Just gotta see if I have the time. The Relax Holiday suddenly needs a schedule planner for a very packed. Oops. I get that. Like, you go on vacation if you haven't been on vacation for a while, and you're like, holy crap, I have all this stuff to do and almost no time to do it in. That was probably a bad mistake. That was absolutely dried paint I just shoved into my pot. Oh, there we go. Out. Oh, or just fall back in. Okay. Well. Also, I just got a few days off, a few days work in there, and lots of people to catch up with. Yeah, that's definitely a feeling. When I feel like I go to New York, my hometown, every once in a while to like see family and stuff like that. I have like, if I'm staying there for 5 days, I've got like 2 days where I can hang out with family. Or I'm sorry, 2 days that I can hang out with like friends. All the rest of the time is like dedicated to seeing family and stuff like that, which, you know, is a whole thing. But, you know, do what's important. I definitely have to make more time for my friends and such. That's a point of contention in my family, but whatever. Yeah, do what makes you happy, man. Oh god, this is gonna be messy. It's like, as long as I don't get it on the black armor, I think I'll be fine-ish. Fine-ish. I can repaint the sleeves and stuff. That I have no problem with. But because the armor has been painted and whatnot, I want to try really hard not to get it on the armor itself, which I absolutely just did. Whatever. It's under the cloak. Who's gonna see it, right? But this is why I'm doing this now, because if I were to dry brush this with the purple and I hadn't done this white and I just got this white fucking everywhere, I would have to touch up all of the black again. And that's a ball bust. Dislike that. A full week and a half this time around. That is freaking awesome. I am very happy. Get some rest in there, please take care of yourself. That is super important. Vacations are for taking care of yourself. I think that's what I did when we went to Arizona last year. Just like, this is just for funsies. Don't have to worry about work. Don't have to worry about anything else. Just hanging out, being in the sun. Spent a lot of time on ATVs. It was so fun. I was like, for a girl who likes to stay in all the time, I do like hanging out in the middle of the desert. There's so many cool critters out there. Also, we get these giant swaro cactuses, which is like, they take 75 years to get up to like a decent height. And after 75 years, they grow their like first arm. Or no, it's after 100 years, they like grow their first arm. So you can tell how old a swaro cactus is by how many arms it has. Because that's like 100 years. If you got like a swaro cactus that has 4 arms, it's 400 years old. And they're protected. So you can't chop them down or anything like that. Which is also super fucking cool. Cactuses are amazing. I don't know. I'm obsessed with them as a northern girly. So, I'm sorry guys, I did not mean to be painting off stream. I'm trying to get this tan blocked in here. And granted, I could go back. It's not that big of a deal to go back and touch stuff up if I have to. I'd rather not, but it is what it is. It's much harder to touch up white over these dark colors than it is to touch up the dark colors over white. I was like, that's why I wanted to do this before I did dry brushing, because that is all gonna get covered up. If I did this the other way, oh my god. Like, base is in the way. Move this underneath this cloak. I'm sorry if you guys can't see this. I don't know if you can paint the end of something again. Nobody's gonna see this. Who fucking cares? Do what you gotta do, girl. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. You guys are gonna be getting my unadulterated commentary as I go through this process. All right, safe flight, Pats. Hope you get to Melbourne safe. Don't flap too hard. Get there safe. That is oh wait, I thought yellow was fast. Oh no, red is fast. Yellow goes boom. I'll get there eventually. All right, well, hopefully we'll see you in a little bit. Hiya. Let's see here. I just realized I don't have my music on. It's very quiet in here, especially without Matt to talk to. He's around here somewhere. Just lurking. He's doing the ultimate lurk. Orcs are weird mushrooms. Who knows? That whole conversation about that. I'm like with somebody and he's telling me all this stuff about orcs. I'm like, you would be the pro dude. I am Sisters of Battle. I don't know anything about your orky boys. Let's see here. Synthwave. Let's listen to some synthwave. Let's see. I just realized for the longest time that on like in the system that we have for like Alexas and stuff like that, like my Alexa up here is the Forge. We have one in what we call the lab. There's one in the living room. And like I get there's this one on here that's called the Den. And I'm like, I don't know what the Den is. What is the Den? Come to find out, the Den is we have like a sound bar in our living room. So one day I was like messing around to try and figure out where the heck this Den is, and music starts coming out of the TV. I was like, oh, that makes so much sense now. Gotta decide what I should try and paint this week. The Den, God may have mercy on us all. I don't know why it's called the Den. That is just like what the default is. That's why I didn't know where it was. Like I thought that like at first when this showed up in my house, I thought like the Den is like, oh, maybe this is like a neighbor's device that accidentally is like on our network somehow. The answer to that is nope. It's just it's just our sound bar downstairs. Oh, okay. I don't watch a ton of Simpsons. I'm not good at remembering episodes. My kid might get that. Is that bad that my teenager would get a Simpsons reference and they're a neophyte? I don't have a wet palette out today because I just don't have the energy. Thought I was just going to be dry brushing today. I also am not going to be able to paint next week, so I don't want to use any of my painting stuff. I don't want to use a sheet of my wet palette to use my bleh. I do not want to use a sheet for my wet palette if I'm not gonna be able to paint tomorrow next week, because then it'll just go to waste. It's an Australian thing. Simpsons is ingrained into our souls. That makes sense. Since Matt talks about them so often, I'm just gonna throw shade at Matt until he eventually shows up. I love you, Matt, if you're listening to me. What do I normally do with this? I can't remember what I'm doing. Sepia shade, I'm pretty sure. It's been so long since I've had to do this color that I don't remember how to make. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay. I only can do a bit of this. I think maybe some earth shade. Catch you later, Pats. Maybe we'll see you in a bit. It's been so long since I've had to paint this like pan shade that like unsure how I'm supposed to make it. Can't remember how like much watered down it is or what color it's supposed to be. Inconsistencies, we love it. Speaking of Australian stuff, I've been watching, I was actually just watching this for dinner, is that Netflix show Alone came out with an Australia one. That's interesting to watch. Oh, this does not feel like the right color at all. Or maybe it's just me. Oh, that was too much. I want a little in there. I'll be lurking. All right, we'll see ya. Well, not see ya, but lurk away, Elliot. We'll catch ya in the interim. Maybe by the time you come back, Matt will be here. Maybe. I feel a little strange talking to myself. Not that that's a strange occurrence. I think it's an artist thing that we just like talk to ourselves while we do art. Like talking to yourself about the process and like what you're doing. 'Cause, like, I feel like that's a thing that I've seen pretty frequently with other artists is like talking to yourself throughout the process. All right, that seems okay. I think this color turned out all right. So let her dry. That's good. Ooh. That's a dropper. All right. I must have painted red with this paintbrush left because it is really red when I clean it. That's done. Time for dry brushing. Ooh, water all over the place. We are putting back our paints. Like a responsible human adult. Not that I know what a responsible human adult is. All right. Let's get to dry brushing now. We'll start with these Seraphim gals. So this is the one thing that I appreciate about the combat patrol that I got is it came with Seraphim ladies, whereas when I bought the Seraphim squad, I made them into a Zephyrim squad instead, which are basically just the difference between wielding 2 pistols and a sword and a pistol. I don't know, honestly, if there's any other. I think they're mechanically the same thing after that. I don't think I've dry brushed my sisters with these dry brushes yet. Does not feel like a familiar experience. So I feel like I'm initially not getting enough paint on my paintbrush. All right. got. Keep forgetting how like desaturated these ladies look when they don't have all of their stuff completely yet. Scooch this back since I apologize, I do not have my black mat underneath me today. I seem to have lost it. So I've been cleaning my office and I have yet to find it. Just also remember the Drucci Violet that I put on these gals really makes them pop afterwards. Nice like purple purple panel. Hey, Bjerk, nice seeing ya. Just me for now until Matt comes and shows up. Looks like he might be working on getting in here. There's like gorgeous flat panel here that's like nice and bright purple. That'll really pop once I get the Drucci Violet on there to pull it a little bit away from the grays of the sisters. Oh, hi. I wonder if it'll make Matt come in any faster if I tell him I have a really cool thing to show him. Just kidding. I know he can probably hear me. I got a cool thing over the weekend. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. Man, I love these flowy skirts. I think they look so freaking cool. These like tabards. Pulled too much paint off that. Keep having various levels of excitement for painting miniatures. At some point, I'm super excited, but then I get turned off by it, by what I hear about wargaming, and I'm just like, DNW. That's a DNW. I'm going assume is do not want. Look, I feel like if it is something that is not going to financially burden you, you could just paint the miniatures for funsies. When I first started this project, when I painted my first Sister of Battle, I remember going into the shop. It was right before, I think Matt and I had set up the date for when we were going to start doing our streams. And I went to a wargaming store and I bought my first Sister of Battle miniature. And I never had the intent on picking up a book ever. The Sister of Battle codexes that I own are all secondhand, and I buy them for the art. Really, I think they're great for the different bits of art. They've been really helpful for. I have a friend who wants to play a Wrath and Glory game, so I let him borrow it to like get some more context on some of the sisters stuff, because it's got some like lore in it. I never painted these miniatures with the intention of playing the game, because I just think they're cool. I remember going to my local game store and seeing the Living Saint Celestine on the shelves and just being like, that would be really cool to paint. I've seen the Sisters of Battle and I was always like, those would be really cool to paint. I never intended on learning how to play. It wasn't until my husband was like, I really, really, really want to learn how to play. And Matt here had been saying that like he really wanted to play on Tabletop Simulator, that I was like, fine, let's do it. And then I already had the benefit of having a painted army. If you play online, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. But I am firmly of the belief that if you're doing it for you and for nobody else, then that's all that matters. Don't worry about anything that anybody else is saying. I really want to get the War of the Rohirrim miniatures. I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't know when I will do that, but they are just really cool. I don't even know if there's going to be like a companion, are they coming out with a game for that at all or anything like that? Who knows? But I'm gonna heckin' buy the miniatures because I want to paint them. You just do what makes you happy. Anything else other than that is like, you don't need that shit in your life. If you have people who are being fucking toxic about like why you paint or how you paint, fuck them. Who cares? Come to me and Matt. Me and Matt will tell you how awesome your shit looks. And I haven't seen them. We'll have to take a look. But yeah, I really take your point. I've got to stop taking on random anxiety. Random anxiety is like, you have anxiety for a reason. It's not just random. There's something that is in your brain that is giving you said anxiety. So it's not for nothing. But is that anxiety wrong? Yes. Do what makes you happy. I have like a little mantra on my vanity that says we banish everything. We banish that which does not serve us. If it doesn't serve you in some way, if it doesn't make you happy, if it doesn't give you joy or provide you with something that your family needs, and it's making you fucking miserable, get rid of it. Like, you don't need that shit in your life. For me, it was certain people. I was holding on to certain people in my life, and they were making me miserable, and they were hurting my family. And I just decided one day that I was done with that shit. You don't, just because they're blood, does not make them more important than the people that you see every single day and that make you happy. thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Fuck them. Do what makes you happy. If it makes you happy, then that's all that fucking matters. Nothing else matters. At the end of the day, it's you and your family. I'd say mostly you, but I know you've got like a youngin', so they matter a bit more as well. You know, it's our job to teach. It's our job to teach kids that, like, it's okay to feel the way you do about certain things. Like, I don't know, it's not healthy to just wallow away your pain and anxiety because, you know, that's what's expected of you. Again, yes. Yeah, that's good. I've got to get through to my daughter about this because she's got anxiety. As a girl who gets anxiety, I get her. There are plenty of things that girls have to deal with in life that give them anxiety, but you have to live your happiest, most you life. Live for you, and you know, shit's gonna happen. I am dealing with some anxiety right fucking now. I do not like being left alone. I have like horrible crippling stage fright. So, but because I know that I'm in a safe place and I'm with safe people, that it doesn't matter that it's just me here on our little show. Matt's got to deal with what he is dealing with, and I am here to entertain y'all. So that's why I'm kind of talking out my ass and quiet sometimes, because I am dealing with a massive amount of anxiety. It's all right here in my chest. My heart is pounding. I'm sweating like crazy because I am just so nervous. My hands are sweaty. My anxiety is through the roof because I'm here sitting talking by myself to the internet. But that is like, I know that I'm with safe people. These are people who are not going to judge me. They're people who matter to me. And I know that I am in a safe spot. So fuck you, anxiety. That's how I feel about that. But yeah, anxiety is valid. At least it's not your mom's spaghetti. Yeah, especially since my mom can't cook, even spaghetti. And I also hate spaghetti. So that's, yeah, absolutely. Anxiety is frustrating. I logically know that I can do the thing, but my body is also, we could die. I also get that on like a fundamental, on a fundamental level. I'm supposed to be having a procedure done. I'm getting some stuff done to my nasal passage. It is why I may or may not be here next week, depending on how I feel after drugs. It's also, my mom's giving me huge anxiety about the fact that I might end up with 2 black eyes. That's horrifying to think of. But I'm also, because it's local anesthetic and it is not a super like involved procedure, they're like, oh, it's gonna be like when you go to the dentist to get your wisdom teeth out. We're not putting you to sleep. It's local. You'll be awake for the whole thing. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna be awake the whole time while you're fixing my deviated septum and all that craziness. And they're like, yep. And I keep telling my husband, I was like, I am having so much anxiety because I know I'm gonna be awake for this whole thing. They've told me that my nose is going to be stuffed up for a while. I do have a dehumidifier just because it gets very, very dry here. And it's actually, Alex gets nosebleeds really bad because of how dry the environment gets here. So Got a dehumidifier. They did tell me I was gonna just be kind of stuffed up for the first couple of days, but I don't deal with inconvenience well. I don't like being inconvenient. So I might be being a big baby about the whole thing, but I've also like I'm not like, you know, both of my partners have had like really big surgeries, and I've never had to experience that, so I don't know. Have you considered not having a nose at all? I have. However, I did get this pierced a couple of years ago. I quite like my nose piercing. So I would like to keep it, please. Thank you. Because you're effectively going to be like a dog, right? So got a huge dry mouth when I had mine. I don't know. My mom told me they might put me on the drugs where I just won't remember what happened afterwards. I'm like, that would be preferable. I would like to just knock out and then just not remember. The last time I had a procedure, I opted to be asleep but requested pictures because I'm super interested. I recovered 3 pages of pictures. That's hilarious. I have not. That's funny. So yeah, so I'm dealing with a lot of anxiety about that. As a whole thing. I've never had any major surgeries. I've never had to do anything like this. So I'm just like what if it ends up hurting, or like what I don't, cuz they're like, "Oh yeah, it's when you got your wisdom teeth out." I'm like, "Joke's on you. I've never had my wisdom teeth out. I only have 3 and they told me I didn't need to have them out." Joke's on them. I probably did. But yeah, like I've never had my wisdom teeth out, so I don't know how that whole I don't know. I'm just nervous. You can tell I'm nervous because I'm talking a lot. Trying very hard not to be freaked out, but I can't help it. I really need my emotional support Matt. He's not here. He's somewhere else in the distance, listening. Here but not. So yeah. Anxiety sucks. So I feel for your daughter, Bajork. Like my dry brushing should be going further, but I feel like I have to like dip my paintbrush into the paint a whole bunch more than I need to. Both my wife and I have anxiety, so it's hard for everyone concerned, but we persevere. We absolutely fucking do. You got this. And one day your daughter's gonna turn into a strong young woman, and you're just gonna be like, what the heck happened? But that's what I hope. So I hope for all little kids, they grow up and they turn into being awesome human beings, and the world just gets pushed that little extra towards the better part. And then things suck a little less. Girl can dream, right? I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just vibing at this point. Oh gosh. Cool. like loving how some of these girls are coming out. It's like, I don't know. I love seeing the and granted I have a whole bunch of these ladies finished. But like I love when the vision starts to come together. Trying to make the world a better place. D&D campaigns at a time. Hell yeah. Me too. So the show that I went to over the weekend, I ran this game. It was part of our Dreams of Red Wizards campaign, or not campaign, but like story arc. And the writers did this really amazing job of like the storyline. Is that a Sister of Battle you're painting? I'm pretty new to the hobby, so I don't quite know all the models. Yes, I am working on some Sisters of Battle models. This is my own custom sister set. So one day they'll look super. I mean, they look kind of super cool now, but we got like a black and purple. Here, I'll show you one that's almost finished. She's almost finished. This is what these ladies will look like eventually. Is the black and purple with lots and lots of gold. Also, welcome in. My name is Leia. Normally my co-host Matt is here. He's unfortunately dealing with something at the moment. We are Split the Party. We do Dungeons and Dragons and miniature painting. All kinds of cool stuff. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just vibing today. Today's just our paint stuff and vibe. Let's see. Jerk. My current villain is an embodiment of the fear of change. My players are about to clap them soon. How ironic that you have actually split the party. Oh, we have actually split the party. The party has indeed been split. Yes, the Sisters of Battle are super cool. I have quite enjoyed playing them, especially when my husband gets real big in his britches and he's like, my Astra Militarum, which are basically just like regular dudes, no special powers. He's like, oh, my guys could like kick your ass, and then he loses to me 0 to 4, and I'm like, ha ha ha, my ladies are better. So yeah, no ego there whatsoever. What was I saying? Oh, the games over the weekend that I was playing are part of the Dreams of Red Wizards storyline through the company that I'm working for, and those D&D games dealt kind of heavily with like memory loss, a little bit of dementia, as well as like breaking out of abusive relationships and out of the like circles of abuse. And I feel like that was, although maybe not everybody kind of got the same thing from that particular storyline, I do feel like it was a very important story to have. I thought it was really beautifully done. A lot of players seem to really enjoy it, despite some of the trigger warnings in it. But it really did have like a beautiful story. Especially since they are trying to move towards being a little bit more self-aware of the people that they are representing. Like the main NPC that you're dealing with is a non-binary construct, which is very, very cool. And that kind of wraps up with like the previous show. It was very cool. I got into the hobby over Christmas, got myself a World Eater Combat Patrol, the Master of Executions, which I performed the head swap on, some 8-bound and Angron, which arrived the other day. It is super cool. So I just recently got a Krieg box, which I am like looking forward to cracking into at some point. My partner and I have been deciding who's going to build the models. Obviously, I'm going to end up having to paint them. I say having, I really want to paint them. The World Eaters are freaking dope. I do. There's like so many. It's like you get into the hobby and then you're like, oh man, this would be super cool to paint. This would be super cool. I painted one Tau, and I thought that was very cool. I think like painting some like smaller Tau would be even cooler. Don't let Matt hear this. Hopefully he's not paying attention too hard.
Oh, Matt heard that.
God damn it!
I'm setting up, but Matt fucking. Also, you know you have captions,
No!
right? I look over every now and then, and I'm reading. Anyway, I'm nearly ready.
Okay, that's fine. So now that I've been found out, yeah, the tower's super cool. Perfect timing.
I got some shit to show you if you like Tau.
Oh boy. So there has been some really cool stuff. I feel like you get into the hobby and then you're like, ooh, this would be really cool to paint. Ooh, this is really cool to paint. And it's like, do you ever end up with an army at some point? The answer is eventually yes. I eventually ended up with a sister's army. I don't know how functional it is. I think I did try to play a game one time with models that I actually own.
It's pretty good.
On Tabletop Simulator.
I make models. I make my armies based on the models that I have, and your armor's solid. I mean, like, neither of us play competitive, right?
No, we don't.
Anyway,
I mean, I think I would like to I want to roll up to a Games Workshop thing and be like, bang, here are my sisters, give me my 10 points.
The only thing I see with the GW specific tourneys is you can't use anything out of theirs that's like conversion or like can't use conversions or like 3D printed parts at all. Like they will be like, no, you're disqualified. But, like,
all of my sisters
LGS
are
a lot better.
All of my sisters are born and bred. Oh, thank you for the follow, Chris. On brand Imperium. We don't mess. Look, you want to know what? The Emperor, he did exactly what he wanted the first time. So we don't mess with what ain't broke.
The Imperium's pretty broken. Just, you know.
Come on, Matt. Go with the bit.
No. Four.
I'm just saying. So my sisters are fucking rad, and I have not tweaked them in any way to convert what I was saying in English. I don't have any conversions on my sisters. I do have those conversions on my Space Marines, but really they're a LOL group, and I don't even know if it's going to be an army. It might end up being an army. I don't know what it is.
Matt, just say so we can clip this. That is that. Yeah, Matt, just say it so we can clip this. Wholemeal bread is best bread. You get that crusty, like crunchy crust wholemeal loaf. Whoa, that's fucking good. Like homemade wholemeal loaf, but it's like real fluffy on the inside.
I want to know why Bajirk.
Nom, 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 nom.
I want to know why Bajirk wants to clip the best bread is white bread.
I think he's calling me basic because I was going off the law rather than leaning into the conversation.
Oh, well, I can't help you there. You might be a bitch.
Yeah.
I am. Matt, you have to get on so I can show you my cool thing.
Let's go my wet palette membranes. They're outside, one sec.
Man, the man finally gets a freaking wet palette. Hey, Ghost! The man finally gets a wet palette and he turns into an absolute diva. Bet he didn't hear that. Hey, Ghost. Long time no see. Werewolf doctor in the house. Matt is such a dad yelling from the shed energy right now. I love that. Oh man, he can't find his favorite screwdriver. Hey Saz, oh my gosh, the party is starting tonight. Been lurking when I can, as it's been hot, and been puppy sitting. Oh, I hope that you guys are nice and cool and have lots of hydration. Puppy sitting. Love the puppers. I was just talking about earlier, it's been so cold. We got like 8 inches of snow last night and yesterday. There's so much snow. Did somebody move my bloody toolbox? Meanwhile, nobody touches it except him. Sorry. Missed you guys. The energy in here is great. I love it. It's like I'm just ugh. And I love that I can hear things rustling around. So something's going on. We should kick Matt out more often. I didn't kick him out. He was like, I was ready to go. And he was like, do you want to go without me? And I'm like, I guess. Sure. And so we've already covered how much anxiety I feel over the fact that I am the only one here right now. I'm sorry. I am not painting underneath my camera. Ooh, now I'm being too close to the camera. Whoa! Can't find my happy medium today. I just straight up did not paint sleeves on this gal. All right, she is gonna go over here and we're gonna eventually paint sleeves. Yeah, basically. Especially when he can't hear me. How have I been? I've been pretty good. I just got back from a show. Those who have been sitting around know I've been talking about. I went to a D&D show over the weekend. It was pretty cool. It might be the last time I ever have to play Adventures League, which I am so ecstatic about. Unless I go to like a couple more conventions before. I think before Gen Con. I think Gen Con is when like we're officially not doing any more Adventures League through the company I work with. So, I'm using my cat as a coaster since she decided to swipe my lap. That is what cats are best at. Oh my god, my cats were in here before show and they were just using my office as a jungle gym and trying to murder one another. So I'm like, all right, everybody has to go. Freaking love my cats. They are agents of chaos. I'm pretty sure they work for the blood god since how much blood they've drawn from us in their rampages. Starting to get to the point in the project where I'm just like, is anybody notice if I just do a half-assed job? You know, I always figured that Korn is the least sexiest chaos god.
Okay, I was like, I thought you were gonna say the least sexiest vegetable. Sorry, I'm back. I found everything.
You found everything?
Today's horrible.
I can tell you're having a bit of it. Don't read chat.
I read it. It's okay. I think it's funny.
We love you.
It is.
No
No one's saying anything mean spirit. I don't care for that.
No,
I
know.
Don't care as long as it's not that. You know, it's a do it.
Yeah. No, I'm just joshing with you.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay.
I'm still gonna say I'm having a bad.
I know, and I'm sorry for that.
Now everyone's got him.
Got him. Well, the bonus is so they've spent some personal time just with me, and then if you want to go a little bit longer,
I was just
they can get some personal time with you.
You
So, like, they'll get to spend some time with
you. Get some
you.
time with the auntie and uncle today.
So, like I was saying before, you guys, I'm not going to be able to hang around very long. I'm going to be here until, holy crap, until 8. So I'm actually got to go.
That's why
soon.
I was like, if you want to stay longer, absolutely. I know you gotta
well,
go
I unfortunately do have to go. I can't see. Why can't I see your stuff in Discord?
Oh, I haven't turned on my camera here. One sec.
No, you haven't.
It's the wrong camera.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
I have to figure out this evening stuff about my procedure because I go like right in the morning. Like, I have to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
To I have to take. Well, there's medication that I have to take like 90 minutes before my procedure. If Matt wants to clap me, he knows how to find me. Besides, love Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. If you were watching Barovia or like near Barovia the other day, you may have seen me also posting something similar. It's the same thing. Ants have just gotten in from somewhere. We found a shitload under the neighbor's like shitty AstroTurf thing near our house, and this is the third time like in I think a week that we've just found them trying to get in the house. Today was I found them in my office, and they were eating and killing every cricket that is a food cricket for the 2 little guys that you normally see. There is no lizard cam today.
Gosh.
The lizards are fine. That's
No, I'm so sorry.
on Tuesday we were dealing with the other one for 2 hours in the kitchen, and then now I have a timer every 5 minutes to make sure they aren't spreading. Yeah, it's been bad. It's been bad. I think we have to pay for an exterminator now. Like, it's been like, okay, we were like, it's gonna silicon these bits. Oh, they're coming out of somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
They're now they're coming out of upstairs.
Yeah, I had that like right before we moved. I found them like right behind my my laptop, which is a horrendous place to find ants. On a happier note, do you want to see what I got? Let me make some room here. These guys can be much love. Much love.
I love the energy.
I'm sorry.
The energy making fun of that. That's fun.
Have you considered living inside of a garlic bulb?
Oh man, I got so many stickers the other day, and I bought 4 at the Pantheon of Chaos Gods. I don't know if I put that on Instagram yet, but
I don't know.
I'll put it in the Discord.
I've not been.
Did I put in the?
I haven't been checking my. I have yet to check my my socials since I'm still settling in from Winter Fantasy. Oh shit.
Haven't. Oh yeah, I put the little sticker hole. Oh, I put on Twitter. There we go. No, hold on. That's Jess's. Oh, I put mine in Tavern Chat. And like up the top, you can see like 4 stickers, and in a tower one, there's I found like the 4 Chaos Gods, or like things, and then there's like a Tau drone. It's also for the greater good. And then I also got a bunch of stickers and memes and Pokemon and One Piece. And I bought those so I can like like the purpose of those is literally to hand them out to people. So if you see me, you only get one. You can have a stick. I don't, people. Elliot was saying the other day, like, I'm a sticker hoarder, and I went, well, I wouldn't have bought any stickers for the same reason, but I bought these to give away.
I've been trying to, like, I went through all of my stickers, and I actually decided to, like, begin putting them on things. So that was a thing. I will be right back. I have to go to the bathroom now that you're here. I'm gonna leave.
In with one, out with the other. I'll show
I'm
everyone
not leaving yet.
I'll show everyone what I've got. I don't know if I ever painted these, but I really like them, and I built them last night because I just needed some semblance of sanity, I guess. Are they here? He's real little. Okay. So I got some of the Eldar fire dragons, and I think they're really freaking cool. And I sprayed them up this morning, and that's when I sat down and went, oh no. But here they are. They're going to be a super bright orange. Yeah, there we go. Gonna be like a super bright orange. Yeah, living up to our channel name, right? The other wild thing is, I was only able to take my meds after we finished. But that was another whole thing. You can't spell disappointment without ant. Look, garlic is great as well. I would love to live just in garlic. We like roast that garlic, and then I would sit in it and give me some potato, and I can just like drag that down the walls. Anyway, here's my Eldars. I also bought the character Fugan, which is he's just their leader, their character, their Phoenix Lord, I think they're called. They freaking cool. They have a huge pike, and then these guys just Leia. Their whole purpose is this is a squad of melter gun tank killers and monster killers, and that's just what they do. They are contained.
Okay. Sorry, my headset stopped working. Okay. Fuck. Hey Matt, I think you muted yourself. I thought it was me.
Yeah, Fugan is the Doom guy of the Eldar. But yeah, for Fugan, he their leader, and these guys are basically just a squad of melters. So they are just. Can you hear me now? You can't hear me, can you?
Yes.
You can't hear me.
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry.
no, you're good,
my
you're good.
headset stopped working.
I'm on the
so...
quiet side. Oh. Yes, my one was on the quiet side.
Ooh.
Because my mixer had for some reason gone all the way down. Oh, hi you. But yeah, they're basically all melters. The whole squad is just melter rifle equivalent, and so they just punch tanks, punch holes in tanks. I think one of them has an axe, so he can axe punch a tank.
All right. So, you want to say the awesome part about doing professional DMing for a company?
Wom. Hey, yo, they got super delayed in Australia, by the way.
These don't come out for another 8 days here in the States.
So they're not out for us either yet, but I also got told Australia's having, much like the other two books, we're getting printing delays, so we don't even get ours in the country, even though it's technically out. I already have. Yeah, April. We get them in April now.
Ah.
So they're having major printing issues, but also our distribution's all cooked. But also, I have everything on D&D Beyond. Like, I've already got all the new stat block stuff.
Oh, I thought like you couldn't get like, because you could pre-order the book, but I didn't think you got the stats yet.
Yeah, no, I've got everything on D&D Beyond. So if I wanted to open it up right now, I could load up a map and I can bring in the 2024 monsters.
I thought I might have to look into that then, because
I did the super big bundle, like when they were like, buy all 3 books and you get like you effectively get one or two of the digitals free that way, or you get all of the digitals free that way. So I was like, I have to buy them anyways, and I get free shipping, so fuck it.
So here's the thing. I was very excited to get these, because at the show that I was doing, they're like, if you're still using 2014 characters, that's fine, because they're not switching over to the 2024 rules until I think the next show, which is in 2 weeks. And they are going to the company that I'm working with is like, if it's not in the 2024 PHB, it is not legal.
For Adventurers League, sorry.
I don't think Adventures League. Like, we're moving away from Adventures League. It sounds like
for
we're
your
gonna
stuff.
do our own
Okay.
thing.
Yeah,
Which
I get you.
I'm down for, because like that means that we get like a hard reset essentially.
So his pike fell off. So okay, yeah, fair. I was gonna say that cover is. So I wasn't able to get the special edition covers because the pre-order only covered the regulars. However, my Wizards contact here, I was pitching them, can we do more community streams? And he was like, yeah, sweet. Maybe less than last time, because I sent you a whole crate for the other 2 ones. And I overestimated our stock budget, so I think he must have ran out for the other ones. And I was like, oh, that's totally fine. I'm not asking for a whole 10. I'm asking for like 3 to 4 at most. But he did. I haven't got back to him because I need to also... actually, I also should do this with everyone. I have a thing that we could maybe do but I won't say what it is, but I want you to help spitball, and we'll create something together, everybody. And then I may go make it. And then it may get support for making it. But short form content. What are you thinking? Regarding either the monster manual or... Sorry, I just got to keep checking that. Regarding the monster manual or something similar, what would you like to see in short form content that myself, Leia, or, in the channel that we could do? That's the pitch.
That's the pitch.
If we start doing short form stuff, but relating to the monster manual specifically to start with, without having to do like more work, like for example, I don't want to have to animate lots of things, right? So what could be more like talking and just like cut person that you could like cut in an hour or 2? Because I know I could do something whole hog, like Monster Mash tournament, right? Where I get monsters and I blip them together with little animations. Suddenly that's an 8-hour edit though. But I would need to do multiple of those a week, suddenly full-time job.
Yeah.
Right? So that's, fun ideas. Welcome. And as long as you're happy with us then making them.
Pick a cool monster and design an encounter/adventure hook around it.
Oh, yeah.
Very like Monster of the Week-esque.
Yeah, well, you could do that for like most of the stat blocks in the manual. I see it. And they could be fun and snappy. Like that's what also I was thinking.
Oh yeah.
Like our vibe is kind of like it's comedy, but like it looks schmick, but also like we can like I know we can get away with stuff that either looks schmick or goes totally the opposite way.
Elias, I hope she plays Hard to Go, Matt. This is the 2024 monster manual.
I know there's some really easy ones we could do. I just don't want to take the concept from like mates who I know do like PAX panels on the same thing. So like without asking them, like, and it's not like a new concept, but you know, doing literally like a smash or pass, but like more scripted type thing would be super easy. However, you know, I would go, you know, I don't want to then be like, I'm doing this, and then someone who's doing like the other stuff being like, oh, this other person just did that. I'm like, well, I would talk with that person to be like, hey, I don't want to step on your toes too hard. But it's also like,
I think that's I had a similar conversation with my partner about storytelling. Is there's no longer anything. What's the word I'm trying to say? There is no such thing as original content anymore. Everything has been done in 1 second or the other.
I think it's the degrees. I think the concern I have is like the degrees of separation are so close rather than parallel thinking.
I guess I'm confused as to what you're looking for. Like, it sounds like you want something that's like maybe like an episode, or do you want to do something that's more of like a fireside chat?
I think. Well, I mean, so okay. For one, I'm going to show everybody a clip now of a Barovia edit I've been like tinkering around with just to get a template. For one, so I already know that we can get stuff off the streams. I just need to sit down and fucking edit them, you know. But basically, it's like there's an opportunity to get support for digestible, easier to make content, because if it does well, it will perform as well as higher performing content. So for example, take Zach Naom, who has fucking done such a good hit into his thing where I was talking to him, and the way he makes his content's really interesting. I won't spoil what it is. And it's not like some like crazy secret. It's literally just like the consistency and being and having a vibe and a theme that people keep coming back to and expecting more of. So it's like less of a shotgun spread. But like what he's doing is literally just reading like RPG and D&D themed like green text posts, effectively, if anyone knows what they are. They're like little stories as well. And then he's reading them out, but like effectively it's React content. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, because we've done React content on this channel. And I don't think React content is a bad thing if you're adding commentary and if you're adding all this good stuff to it. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. He is making shitloads of money, and those things take like minutes to edit, maybe like an hour or two per edit. Like he could get a month's worth done in a week if he wanted to, you know? Just think it's cool. But yeah. Sorry, I just went on like a whole tunnel vision thing.
No, you're all good. I feel like if you sat something in front of me and you were like, "This is what I want to do," I'd be like, "Okay, I'm game." But I don't have any ideas of my own.
Something that sticks is what I'm struggling with.
Yeah. Like for me, like just right now, I think my big thing is I'm focusing on making sure I've got everything kind of set up for Odyssey of the Dragon Lords.
Yes, we haven't really talked about that on stream. So you wanna spoil? Not spoil. You want to announce your beans here, because this is like I would call you like the showrunner of this one.
It's a concept. I know I've talked a bunch about Odyssey of the Dragon Lords on here. I want to do a show eventually, kind of like what we do in Barovia. But I want to do it is Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. I kind of have a really good stopping point in mind if we want to make it seasonal. But that means converting everything to D&D Beyond, which means homebrewing every single monster that's out of that book into D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Which is the whole thing.
Well, I mean, like, we can get in on plugging that in, though. But, new show announcement, effectively. We're going to try and maybe do it on a Friday, ? It literally depends on when Leia and I are free, and then we're going to lock in class after that.
Yeah. Who's available and when.
Yeah,
I don't know if this fits,
be like
but I see like a reverse.
It might be a morning thing. I'm not sure about when we are good with it and time zones, but, you know, this time slot, always good for both of us. It's just if we want to push it earlier or later, depending on what we're feeling.
Yeah, it'll decide who wants to. Yeah,
New
new
show.
show.
So yes,
New show.
what's the pitch? Grecian themed campaign, third-party campaign module.
What if there was a Grecian style island that had its own monsters and Grecian history or Grecian themed history, gods and titans?
So is this setting agnostic? Could you plug it into another one if you had to?
So, yes, it's actually, this is right in the pitch to the players, is you can have a player that is crash landed on this island.
Oh, sorry. No, I meant the world itself. Is it like this is the world, or is it like could you pull that? I'm not saying we should do it because our pitch is literally similar to my Barovia one. We just the work that we're doing is the production, and then the book comes second because you already know it.
I guess that question confused me a little bit.
Sorry. Okay. So for example,
you're not talking about the setting itself. You're talking about like the theme, or
when you you've done it before. When you ran Rise of Tiamat, you put it in Eberron.
Mm-hmm.
Could you, for example, put Dragon Lords in? And I'm not saying we should do this, but the Magic the Gathering realm of Theros, which is fucking sick. Because I love Theros. It is written in the book that
it's written in this book that this island can technically be anywhere in any format.
Cool. Okay.
It is like it, and it references.
Also, it's just one island.
It's just it's a large continent, and it's got islands in it. Yeah. But there's a massive storm that keeps it blocked off. Is this like from the rest of the world?
Is this one of those storm situations as well? I'm gonna go back to Magic again. Is this like a dragon birthing storm? Like, is this like like Tarkia in their planes, where the dragons are born by coming out of the roil of these tempests?
Think of it as Barovia.
Oh, it's a domain. Yeah. Pocket domain, almost.
It's like a pocket domain. Essentially, you get in, and if you happen to be one of these players that gets crash landed, your job is to figure out, well, how the fuck do I leave, or do I want to leave?
Yeah. Okay. I get you.
It is without giving away too much inside of the story, there is like a narrative reason for why the world is so cut off. Yeah. But the reason, like, I think it says right in the beginning that's like this story can take place anywhere you want it to.
Yeah.
So it is it's a bit of a plug and play. I could put this in Planescape if I wanted to.
Cool. Alright, just grabbing a handle.
No, you're good. I thought how to convert that before. It is a very cool system. It does have lots of like Grecian themes.
Sorry,
so like Shogun with how Europeans view the Isle of Japan. Not really. Most of the other continent, like most of the worlds that exist, so like Eberron or the Forgotten Realms or even Greyhawk, don't know that this island exists, or like I've pulled into it, like maybe if you're from off island and you've crash landed here, maybe you heard a legend of this island's riches, but no one has gone there, has ever come back. So it is not something where like this is something that you can just come and go from. This is like you're here, you're stuck, and you have to deal with that. So that's why I equate it more to Barovia than to like anything else. So we're gonna get that figured out this year.
I mean, we were gonna have a chat yesterday, and then I forgot.
I would have also forgot.
That's fair. We're in like we want to do it, but it's like when it's time. Like we were talking about this last year as well. Like it's a show we want to do, but we want to get it into think of the production value on this one a bit more, because I'll have more of the ability because I'm playing to
Mm.
to do more of like an Elder Scrolls Dragon Break type overlay rather than Barovia, where I made it intentionally more basic. Like I literally ripped assets from Dragon Break for Barovia. But you know, once I made Dragon Break and Barovia, everything's, you know, I've got a template of how I make it.
And now I know that we had spoken over like the last year or so that like I wanted to run a game, and we tried so many different like styles of like, what do I want to play? What do we want to run? And I think it ended up boiling down to like this or Tyranny of Dragons. But I think Tyranny of Dragons is cool for different reasons, whereas Odyssey of the Dragon Lords is just fucking cool. It's like if you like stories where like my literal pitch for this game.
Hey Aurora.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull up the literal pitch that I use for the website when I talk about this game.
Yes, and I'm gonna show this video that I was trying to show earlier and then got sidetracked. It's from Barovia.
Sorry,
it's gonna go up at some point. I want to put up the vertical, which I stupidly didn't. I'm gonna put up the vertical version, which I stupidly didn't edit for in the start place. I should have literally made the vertical first and then not made a horizontal at all, because it'll do better as vertical regardless.
Leia, is this the continent of Thylea? It is indeed.
Yeah.
John knows what I'm talking about.
You got it.
It is Thylea, yes.
All right, get ready, Elliot. You're gonna get cooked
her.
for a sec, so hold on.
Is Elliot still here?
Well, if he's not, to make fun of. Oh no, he's in there somewhere. He just might be
right.
having a lurk. Okay, so your camera. I lost your camera just then. Oh no, there it is.
No, I think I'm still here. I'm just holding her kind of still.
Oh, you're just still.
I'm
Okay.
always cooked.
So here is the little edit I've been just chilling and doing. This is when Elliot was away, and then we were introducing us as the players.
I'm going to pass it over to Elliot, who's definitely here. 1 second. G'day, it's me, Elliot. I'm just, what does this say? Hi, I'm Elliot, little guy on the internet making videos and taking photos. You can find me everywhere at 8BitElliot, and I'm live on Twitch 3 days a week.
Can you hear me? Can I have this chicken?
You can tell it's really me because I have no hair and I'm wearing a hat that I passed around at Fortress Melbourne the other night and did not cause a lice outbreak. Rin, I'm going to pass it to you.
Cool.
Ash, that was fucking beautiful, by the way.
Thanks.
I think it's a perfect addition, honestly. I did see the hat stuff going around on the weekend. All right, so. All right.
That was lovely.
Fun fact, I did get the chicken. Yeah, so I needed a clip of Elliot while he was streaming. I literally went onto his stream from like the day prior, and I was just like, I'm just going to click somewhere in this, or a clip somewhere. I'm just going to take that.
All right.
It didn't matter. I was just like, I just need something out of context.
So here's the pitch. This is the pitch for the game.
Hit
if
us.
anybody has here we go. You have been chosen to play the part of a mythic hero, or so says the Oracle's prophecy. The same prophecy that would pit mortals against the last of the Titans in an epic conflict that will reshape the lost land known as Thylea. In this Grecian-style world where you will battle the great creatures known throughout mythology, give counsel to kings, and even walk amongst the very gods and goddesses. Be sure to keep your wits about you, for your words have just as much power as the weapons you carry.
Oh.
As a mythic hero, you have the power to change the course of history. The question is, how will you rise to fate and honor your oaths to fight for your fellow mortals, or will you turn from fate, breaking your sworn oaths and forsake the gods? For it is up to you. For it is up to your deeds if this will be told as a great comedy or a cautionary tale of tragedy.
Oh, I do like that. That's rad.
Peek right in there.
That's rad.
Apart from dyslexia.
That's right. I mean, you know, dyslexia aside, great fucking pitch. I mean, a great pitch
Dyslexia
anyway,
aside.
actually. What am I saying?
Yeah. Hell yeah. The cool thing
But, like,
is, and
dyslexia
this is
not
what I
aside.
like.
Fuck yeah.
Dyslexia not aside. The cool thing that I like about the story is, although the story assumes your players are going to fix the world, there's that
Assumes.
one little bit that says you don't have to.
Yeah, but you give me the option to be defiant, and I'm gonna do it. But also, you know, having a plot line, having players in on plot lines and working out their backstory stuff, you can do a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sounds great. I love me some Greek mythos.
Before
Yes, it is
you
very
start heading
cool.
off, Leia, by the way, check out
Yes,
what
yes, yes,
arrived.
yes, Ooh,
Heck
look
yeah,
at all
what
those charms.
Little bitties. There's 2 boxes of these ones.
That's very
This
exciting.
one's got
Oh,
cakes
man,
and cookies in it.
I can't wait. It's got cookies.
Aurora,
I
yes.
can't wait to get back started on my is this a game you are making? This is a game that I would like to run. Here, I'll show you how cool the freaking cover is. If this gives you any indication, here is my love. This is, unfortunately, I have black tape on the cover because I did drop this and the whole cover came off. If this is any indication, here's this massive freaking dragon on the cover. Ooh, the player's handbook is even cooler.
Yeah, get him. Get him.
So look at this. Look at this.
That's
So this
nice.
is the Amazon subclass. This is the player handbook. It is a free PDF, which is fucking awesome when you're trying to run this online. This has all of the different species that you can play. You can play as a minotaur. I mean, you can play minotaurs anyways. You can play a Medusa in
What?
this.
Is that like
As
a
well
UNT
as-
reskin type thing?
It is not. It is you have been cursed, and now it's your job to become uncursed.
But what if you don't want to?
Then you stay a Medusa for all time.
Is that
You have like a
bad?
time limit on that. It's like 4 weeks.
Oh shit. Okay, so is that but is it bad?
Not really.
Does that say,
you could potentially petrify people.
That sounds great. So
we've
this is the
got-
cover, by the way, if anyone was needing to see it in high res.
This is the cover of the player's handbook.
Oh, and that's the
And
other
then
one.
hold on, there's like this is hold on, I want to show off the cool art. This art is freaking awesome. We've got
It's rad. You know what? There was a coincidence of parallel thinking, actually. So, shit, what am I trying to say? I had a campaign in my homebrew setting that I ran a few different times, and it centers around what in that campaign I do call Dragon Lords. And before I even learned about the name of this campaign, that was what I was considering if I ever wrote a module on it to call it. Then I heard about you talking about it, and I went, ah, shit. I can't call it that. But it's like such an easy
and
name
you
of
could.
something,
This
right?
is something completely different. I love this.
No, but if I
Found
was...
the website to go deep dive into. Yes, this is, if anybody doesn't know, I don't know if you can see it. This is from Modifius. So free PDF of the handbook, which is awesome. So like we've got a cleric or fighter guy. Look how cool that freaking art
There's
is.
also, in this though, would the option of, for say, the Theros subclasses like Oath of Glory, Epic Bard,
Yes.
and there because the Epic Bard's in this, right? I really
the
like
Epic
the
Bard
idea of an
is in
Epic
this.
Bard.
And then when I ran this the first time, somebody played the Paladin from Theros, which I think is like the
Oath of Glory.
Path of Glory.
I love that path.
Um,
Mephidius is really good.
Mephidius is really cool. So we've got our like fighter Paladin. Modifius is amazing. I also have their Viking one, which is really cool. Here's the monk, like very Sparta-esque. We've got there's that art for the ranger again, coming up on my favorite piece of art.
Hell
Sorcerer
yeah.
or warlock. This is like a tiefling, and she's got like lightning bolts all over her skin. That outfit though is absolutely clutch.
Because there's the Fallout.
oof.
Mephidius does Fallout, Star Trek Adventures.
Mhm.
Where's their 5e category of stuff?
I don't know.
Is this Mephidius or is this? This is Mephidius,
Is this
right?
Mephidius?
Yeah.
This is Mephidius, yes.
Oh, I can't find it anywhere. I'm on their website. Maybe I'm in the wrong bit.
Oh, I forgot. My mouse is not working here. Let me go to. I have hiccups.
Maybe I just need to sort it via what system.
I think if you go to role play, because they have their stuff by like, instead of like 5e, they have like their categories of like, because I can see the Dragon Lords, Raiders of the Serpent Sea, Dragonbane, Discworld.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna put the player's handbook in here for you guys if you want to see it. Again, free download, super cool. The other thing that I do love about this is a concept that is in the beginning of the book, so the players all know about it. And this would be up to our players as to whether or not we want to do this. I've run this both ways. There is a concept in these games called epic paths. It's essentially the thing that makes your character want to go on this adventure. It's like the thing that has happened to them that catapults them into heroism. I have run it where I chose, depending on what players' backstories were, on what their epic path was, and I gave them their epic path. So I asked them not to read the epic paths. Be like, if you see it, skip over it.
I'm one of those like reactionary players as well. Like I love having like minimal stuff in my backstory to start with and finding the character as I play it. I really like that kind of gameplay.
That might be a good way for you then if you wanted me to pick, because then I don't tell you until you meet the Oracle.
Yeah.
And like
I think that's what Elliot and I did for Barovia. He was like, I have a concept, and then we fleshed it out. We fleshed it out since.
Yeah. The only reason I felt I had some contention with that is I had a player that was not super kosher with the backstory that they gave me, but we did work on it to like make the epic path fit better for the theme that they had come up with their character. In the other games, I've let the players pick which epic path, and it's basically first come, first serve. Whoever picks their path first gets claim to it.
I mean, I figure like we'll be talking about the stuff anyway. I'm also not going to take something off someone else. But like Elliot, that's you should see me playing Dragon Break. Most of my shit is dumb jokes that we say, and then it becomes canon. Like that's the best way to play certain things.
That's how this game is, and that's how rumors start in this game. I absolutely love. I had a player join mid game in our Odyssey of the Dragon Lords game, and he was like, "Hey, can you send me like, because you guys have been playing for like 10 games, can you tell me what I've heard about the players?" And I was like, "Ooh." So I fucked with them. I made every joke, like anything that they joked about, or they were like, "Oh, this is how my character seems." I wrote that shit down, and the new player got all of that information. So it's a bunch of hilariously incorrect information that just like, it was great for role play opportunities. Like it was just the funniest thing. Like their fighter in that game is like the one, she's kind of the mom of the group, where the rest of them are all chaos goblins. So she's like the one that like makes the decisions. So I like put in there that like she was the wisest of them, and that like her wisdom like even enamored the goddess of wisdom, Valis herself. So the player comes in as like enamored with this one character, and she's like, I have a 10 int. I am an idiot.
10 int is like, fine. That's like average.
It's average, yes,
that's
but it's like when you're the only person who has a voice of reason in a bunch of chaos gremlins.
Yeah, fair.
That is like having a 14, 15.
Mephidius these nuts. So yeah, Elliot's saying flesh it out, make dumb jokes, and now it sticks. But yeah, I really want to play this. It seems so fun. I was actually, before Eve of Ruin Vecna came out, I was genuinely looking at that campaign because you talked about it so much, and I was gonna.
I remember I sent it to you. I was like, here, I already have the PDF for you.
If Eve of Ruin didn't come out when it did, I genuinely would be playing Odyssey right now, because we had started making characters at that point. Like Brendan was going to be the epic deeds bard. And so when we did get Eve of Ruin, we ran like a 3-shot instead, and George ran the rule set. He did like a 1-shot or something in Theros.
The cool thing about it though is I feel like every game that I've played of this has been completely different. So I do
Always
feel
is.
like it's got lots of wiggle room to make amazing stories.
I'm on my 5th Strahd run right now. Nobody's done the same thing. And I tell Barovia, like the stream Barovia, what so I'm running 2 simultaneous Barovias now.
I'm still listening. I'm just gonna put my books back.
No, you're good. So I will tell stream Barovia what Barovia number 4 is doing, and they're like, okay, they're up to this, how are they handling this? And they're actually like, because the others play like once every 3 weeks to a month, but they play for 6 to 7 hours. They are keeping pace with the stream. They also don't, they're very quick to try kill stuff. So they're about to do Yesterhill and Winter Splinter like on Saturday. So we're gonna see how they go. But they've entirely skipped half of Valaki because they were like, what's this wine business?
We also did that. I think we spent like a total of 8 hours in Valaki in the first game that I ever played. We like noped out of that place real fast.
Oh well, yeah, I've had every other group. They're like they've fully finished Valaki by the time they've left it. Will they find out Ismark is hung? I can't remember. Oh, no, Ismark is sticking with them this time. They did invite him. All right, 2 hours into our stream, I will start painting.
And with that, I unfortunately have to go again. I am sorry that I have to go so
you're
soon.
Okay.
The anxiety is back. I hate that. Okay, so I will. Do you want to go on a BRB?
I've got the other scene already good to go. Cool. Your windows just disappear. Honestly, so.
Alrighty, thank you guys so much for dealing with me while I talked my head off. While trying to figure out what the hell to do with my life. So thank you so much, everybody. I love you. I may or may not be back next week. I will keep Matt updated to see how I feel after my procedure tomorrow. So we'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, I'm updating the stream title. Leia is now invisible, and we're going to go over here. That's the wrong one. Painty Solo. There we go. Yes, so we're very keen on that one. We're very excited. Okay, so I think this is a pretty funny stream, actually. Leia started, Matt, we're both in the middle, Matt's at the end. Yeah. All right. Goddamn. How are you all doing? Because you know how I've been. You know how my morning's going. Will they find out Ismark is hung? I mean, that was all you guys. Nobody else has ever asked Ismark's wang size, so that's what we're at. Also, these are the fire dragons, fully painted up. My other reference window has gone kaput, so there we are. I don't even know where that is. There it is. That's the wrong box. There's my face. Okay. They're still there. Reference box. Why is that up there? You know what? You can come down here. We didn't ask you offered that info up free of charge. Why am I doing Eldar? Because I bought these guys, and then I bought Lycus, the new Warp Spider Phoenix Lord. I really like Eldar. This is the army my brother was really, really big on. In fact, up here you'll actually see. Oh, maybe you can't see them. There's a bunch of striking scorpions up there. There's one painted like right here. There's a swooping hawk in the blue. Actually, you can kind of see. And then up here, these are old metal models, by the way. Fire Dragon, Ranger. Some Dark Reapers and Banshees over here. I really like the Aspect Warriors because they do the thing that I love in painting, which is each squad is a vastly different color from each other. For example, this is Lycus, the Warp Spider one. They have kind of like an inverted color scheme of the Warp Spiders, but the Warp Spiders are red and black versus the fire dragons are like neon orange and yellow. So they kind of hit really nicely in the I don't want to paint the same color scheme too long for me. And also they're really nostalgic for me because they got a bunch of really cool, nice models back when I was playing, doing it when I was a early to mid teenager. And then however many years later it is now, we have got a brand new sculpt. The warp spiders, for example, also are 30-year-old models that got an update this year. They used to be the oldest model that GW hadn't updated just yet. But yeah, it's been a whole time, and I'm using contrast paint to start off with because when I did my test earlier last year, I noticed that I could get some really nice shading and layering done on these really quick. I'm gonna have my reference right here, just so I can keep track of what I'm looking at. But yeah, I got like 5 of these guys. And I really like them. I really like the bright poppy orange on them too. Eldar are my jam. Still have my white metal aspect warriors. That's right. So like I found a squad of Dire Avengers, Reapers, Fire Dragons, Swooping Hawks, Howling Banshees, Striking Scorpions, like almost one of all of them. And they were just sitting there. So I pulled out a couple, sent some to my brother, and then did like a 1 model paint test on all of them. What we don't have was like the Shining Spears, which also just got new models last edition, I want to say. I say last year. It was like 3 years ago. And then yeah, there's just heaps of them. They're just real nice, and like as you can see, the contrast paint, you could actually just not do a second coat on top of this. I really like their kind of like built-in paneling and muscles, so I'm going to go through and highlight those nicely, but I probably won't shade these. The armor is all, except for the face, all orange. Okay. So just all of the... And what's nice is they're simple. Like, apart from their, like, greeblies and their bits, they are just, like... They're kind of Space Marine level simple when you're in the regular guys. They are just kind of panels, which is nice. But they have enough little sticky outies that contrast paint won't suffer on them, which I also really appreciate. So they're like a nice mid-tier level paint job in terms of their complexity. They originally had a specific model for the Shining Spears. Took forever to release them. Well, they have a Shining Spears new kit now from 9th edition. They also brought out Shroud Runners, which were like Rangers on jet bikes, which are really cool. But yeah, they've I think every Aspect Warrior now has a re-release kit, John, as of like this month, I want to say. Because we just got Warp Spiders, Swooping Hawks, Fire Dragons, and then we got Lycus in the Phoenix Lords. We got Lycus, Azumon, Bahareth, and Fugan. And I didn't want to spend like $500 to get them all because I never did an army box. But I think over time I will have at least one of each of the squads because Banshees and Reapers like Morgan Ra and Jane Zar, those aspects are already out. They came out a few editions ago. Anyway, follow for more me looking over there every 5 minutes for ants, and more lore while I paint, or answering questions, whatever you're feeling. See, you can already see like just. I mean, this is like a 101 in contrast paint right here. It's you put it on models that it will work, it will play well with, right? And it's doing its job really nicely today. I'm actually going to be able to get the majority of these, at least in this coat. I'll probably finish up at 1. Oh, maybe I will. Let's talk more about D&D short form. What do you want to talk about with more D&D short form? What do you want to talk about? I didn't highlight these, and you might be able to see that this is like a really bright, like peachy skin color as the spray. So I'm really liking how the orange is working nicely with that. I'm also shaking a lot at the moment. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, wow. Could be the emotions. Look about how dumb do you want to go with it? Looks like there's ceramic on camera. I know, right? I'm kind of digging it. The reason why I got this spray is, man, I'm shaky. Fuck. Don't love that. Yes, ceramic on camera. Yes. What was the? So yeah, I'm like, you can see it, right? I sprayed these before, and it really, like, I really shouldn't spray before stream, because the Games Workshop sprays are good, but like they really strain your hands because they sorry, no, the non-Games Workshop, the Vallejo sprays I use to get the non-standard colors, they operate like the spray cap is quite hard to press down. So by the time you're done spraying it, actually it's like all your tendons are kind of like tensed up wrong. So I was like, shit, I shouldn't have sprayed before I did this either. And then also, like, you know, I've been using a lot of physical exertion to you may see this table behind. This is where the lizards would normally go, but I have completely removed the lizards from the room because we were spraying a non-aerosol poison behind where their tank sits, and we're going to leave it disassembled for today while we're going to get an exterminator in a few hours to come out and just like do a contact spray where if the ants touch this, then they take it on and touch each other when they rub up for the pheromone thing, and then they take it to the nest and they all rub against each other and then they all die. It kills the colony, hopefully. You're as shaky as me. I know, right? I'm having a time. Would anyone be interested in... Okay. My brain's running fast. My brain's running real fast. As well. This is why I don't drink coffee. Especially not with meds. How dumb do I want to go with it? Honestly, like... I mean, you know what I like, you know what we're good at. So like I default to silly because it's easier and more enjoyable for me, as long as it doesn't go like, you know, it needs to be digestible enough that it's going to be not exactly to go viral, but if it takes off, that's not going to be a bad thing, but it's not specifically, you know what I mean? It's not engineered as such to go viral. Because I've seen YouTubers who go like, this is how you go viral. And I'm like, yeah, but everything becomes like homogenous milquetoast, you know? Ants are good. Yeah, I was actually gonna say, I'm gonna start brainstorming as well. And so Elliot and I might be doing some like little photo thing next week, and we'll have anxiety and have a nap 50-50. Oh no, I don't. I'm not today. Today is, I'm done with today. The exterminator's got to come over, and then I'm going to relax, and then I have to work at 7. So today is, I am spent today already. Too much emotion. Or is that you specifically? Sorry. yes, I didn't sleep super great either. And I haven't been sleeping super great. Partially because I keep procrastinating going to sleep. For no other reason than I'm procrastinating going to sleep. Because I'm off meds and I go, nah. But, actually, no, I am going to sit back in there. If anyone does want to come and chat, it's helping me a lot just like decompress right now. So if anyone wants to come in and just not be on camera and just have a chat, jump in the green room. I've got eyes on Discord. Like I more than fine right now. But yeah, it's been a fucking week. This is like the 4th or 5th thing this week. A couple other things I don't want to talk about. But yeah, just not. It's been a time this week. Short form D&D though, because I want to do short form. I've never had an idea that sticks, and I also operate way better when I have like a buddy or an accountability person that even if we're not working on the same thing, it's like project body doubling, where it's like feeding each other ideas or like both kind of working on each other's things maybe simultaneously or one after another. Like that, I work really well like that. Oh, same. I had a really good sleep, not last night, but the night before. I just turned off my alarm, and I did end up waking up at midday, but I didn't have any work yesterday. As in, like, booked work. I had, like, work I always need to... Yeah, if you want, Elliot. I had... like, I always have work to do. There's always... Because, it's, you know, I don't work 9 to 5. I work 24/7. In the sense of, like, I can just pick up work and do it if it needs done, but I had nothing booked or urgent yesterday. So I could just chill and sleep in and then get some stuff done. Like, I ended up doing like a lot of admin. Hey, Elliot, how you doing?
Hello.
Good to hear you.
Sorry?
It's good to hear you.
Oh, yes. Hello. Yeah, I'll stop being a menace in the chat.
Nah, you're good. You're good. I mean, just don't let my voice double up on you, so you have that news reporter thing in your head.
Oh, yeah, that's why I had
silly little guy
That's why it
says.
took me a second. Because I had to mute the stream.
Nah, it's so fair. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's my do other stuff day.
Yeah.
So I tried to take a new profile picture, and I was like, nah, this ain't working.
I mean, we could take some on Monday. I think that was I
It's
genuinely
so much
think I had
easier
that to do. That was one of the things.
It's so much easier with another person.
Yeah.
Because I can't smile by myself. Like, I just looking into a camera and trying to smile. Like,
I got
and
one for you.
also hitting the shutter.
I got one for
I
you.
just can't do it.
I got one for you. That's because you got to concentrate on the shutter. I get it. You tried the sweet corn method.
What's the sweet corn method?
It doesn't have to be specifically the word sweet corn. Sweet corn is silly as a word though. So there was, it's literally just what I say to Jess when we're taking a photo and one of us needs to smile. Specifically, it works on Jess because I would always, there was just a random tin of it in the cupboard one day and I would just be like, sweet corn. And it would always make one of us laugh. So, effectively just like a silly word you can say to yourself in your head that you'll just be like, hee hee, and then take the photo.
My issue is that I just look tired all the time.
Oh, same.
I'm just like, damn, this
Like-
guy looks like he needs a nap.
Maybe when we do the thing on Monday, we both just go, don't play League that evening. Don't message each other. Go to bed at a normal time, and then we'll look fresh. But also, like, you know, like
Yeah,
have a little
pretty
hot
much.
towel and a moisturize, and then, you know, your eyes. I have pretty bad eye bags at the moment for like the last since the start of the year. So I'm just going to like, you know,
Oh, I've
moisturize
just
it all up.
always got eye bags, but I think that's just like a family trait. Like, that's just what my family look like.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was mine as well, but I know since I've started my meds and my sleeping got a bit fucked up and I don't take naps anymore in the evening, I think I got them that way, or like they got exacerbated.
I was very proud of myself. I didn't take a nap yesterday.
Hey, you know what else doesn't help you? What helps you not take a nap?
don't say it.
I don't have to say it. You just know.
I just know. I've got diagnosis by proxy, I think.
That's how I got my knowledge first. I went to one of my mates who didn't have it actually, and then I was like, I think I have ADHD, but I'm not sure. Or I got something, and he goes, "Oh, you didn't know?" And I went, "No, no one fucking told me." And he was like, "Oh yeah, you got it." And I was like, God, fuck.
Peer reviewed is the term I want.
Peer reviewed, yeah, you're right.
Says. That's funnier though. Peer reviewed.
But like, you can look into things, and like, it's not good to like self-diagnose in the way of like,
no.
I watched a bunch of TikToks, but if you find that you have a relatability to a lot of the stuff they're saying, it's a sign to go look into it for diagnosis.
Personality. I thought I had a personality, and it turns out everything about me is just the ADHD or autism trait.
Here's the thing. Everybody does have a personality. It's just then you have a reasoning to why part of it is. Because, it's still formative. You're going to be a fun... we're not the same. We both crave attention in different ways because that's why we're content creating, right? But, we still approach and think about things vastly differently. And lived experiences on all that. I had a grubby little dirt boy experience growing up in a rural town and going camping too much. Not too much, a good amount.
I've never been camping.
Oh, I love camping. Jess can only do like one night at a time.
Yeah, no, it would stress me out. I feel like I'm with Jess on this one. It would stress me out. I'm just like, nah. There's some bugs doing some weird shit nearby.
See, that part I can deal with because I've been dealing with that my whole life. But Jess can't deal with the sleep side of things because we can't sleep in the same room because I snore and she's got like it's like sleep anxiety, but not. It's just she's super light sleeper, but then she'll like fixate on the noise while she's sleeping.
Yeah,
probably part of it. Like she's diagnosed ADHD. That's probably part of that. Like you that's why I also have to have noise while I sleep.
Do you go to sleep easy?
Oh fuck yeah.
Or does it take you?
No.
Yeah, I go to sleep easy, and it really it annoys my wife.
Sorry, Chamel, I did just see you there. Let me give you the Chamel. You won't have the roll yet. Let me just fix that for you. You finish what you're saying, Ellie. I'll get this done.
I was just saying that my wife, like, I fall asleep easy. Like, I shut my eyes and then I'm just out.
Yeah. Same. All right, Chamel, you should be good now.
And Marnie just doesn't. She it takes her like she has to have a whole routine to sleep. And
yeah.
Like,
no.
I hate that you can just sleep.
So when we hang up our call, like if we're playing League or something, I have to. So my routine is I got to brush my teeth and take my meds. But if I hit my pillow, I'm out. Like within, I'll put on a YouTube video, and I never see the end of the video, and that video is like 10 minutes to 20 minutes at most.
Okay.
Never see it.
I am the exact same way. I will chuck in like an audiobook or a podcast or something. I'll set a timer for 15 minutes. I will not get to the 15 minutes. I am out.
I leave mine on. Like sometimes I'll wake up and my YouTube will still be playing. Thankfully, my YouTube doesn't go to the weird place. The worst I get is it'll randomly eventually put on like a 4 to 6 hour Destiny or fucking Warhammer lore video. So YouTube thinks I'm just super into. Oh, actually, One Piece videos as well now. But it thinks I'm super into them, and I'm like, look, I am. So go off, algorithm king.
Hi, Elliot. By the way, I know we've been in the same chat multiple times, but I'm Jamel. I'm a friend of Matt's from way back.
Howdy.
Oh. Sorry, I just got a message from an old player, and they were like, "I would love to play again." I went, "Oh."
I mean, I would also love to play it. If I could play D&D all the time, I absolutely would.
That's it, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, I actually think I have more time than I actually. Sorry.
You think you have?
I have more
than
time.
Realistically, do?
I think it's 50-50. I think I have more time than I realistically do, but I think I have less time than I think I do at the same time. And I operate in this weird anxiety bubble of both are trying to pull me apart.
Oh no, that's fair. I have been trying to make. So okay, here's the thing. I'm making my bubblegum Tau army, right? And
Okay.
I want to make some short form videos on my channel, like just briefcase on Instagram, and maybe put them on Split Party TikTok at some point, because we do this channel does do hobby content, but I don't have a personal TikTok. However, that requires me to do something that is work but fun work, and I can't do it. I've been trying all week. I've been trying to simply film just a little bit like this, like OBS. Actually, now it's set up. I might be able to just do some this afternoon, but I have to think of what is in that video now. And then I can hear someone doubling up me. Oh, it's Elliot.
Oh, sorry. I was like leaning real close to the microphone.
No, you're good. You're good.
It was picking up the headphones. Sorry.
No, you're okay. You're okay. Oh, that destroyed my thought process. I got the newscaster thing. Oh, yeah,
Bubblegum Tau, short form.
I'm unable to do it because hobbying is so like relaxing and fun for me, but my brain goes, work though, you should work, and makes me feel super guilty. So I totally get it.
Yeah.
It's like you want to do it, you can't do it, but you just do neither. You're in a holding pattern.
Yes, that is absolutely me, because I've had this project sort of on a slow burn. I mean, to be fair to myself, I did have a child like nearly 7 weeks premature, and then Australia was on fire, and then COVID. So I've had a reason to have put things. Yeah, but there's this short story serial format thing that I've been meaning to do forever, and I'm finally starting to get organized. And when I was training.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just
saying. Oh, when I was training.
You were talking to me about at one point?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, I get to. I think I'm across it, yes.
Yeah, and so the basic idea, Elliot, is that this is like a steampunk serialized story format. Imagine this is the format, right? This is the pitch I'm going to give you, Elliot. You know the start of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where you have that little story where Indiana Jones is trying to get the idol? But then it goes wrong and blah, blah, blah. And even if that little cold open has nothing to do with the rest of the story, it informs you about the character and the ideas and the concepts involved. So you know for the rest of the movie, oh yeah, this is Indiana Jones, this is what he does, and shit just goes wrong.
Yeah.
And so I want to serialize that into short stories.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. So just like little one-off stories that have nothing to do with like a broader picture, but just
anthology-ish.
Like, yeah.
So it's going to be a mix. Some of them will have nothing to do with each other, but others will be like as part of a series. So I will do a season of short stories that will have to do with this character's life. And there are 3 sort of timelines in this character's life that are important, that I will move backwards and forwards to, basically depending on what am I feeling right now, what am I vibing with.
Yeah.
And
cool.
Yeah, it's just a matter of I've been sitting down and outlining things and developing formats and templates and things like that, so I actually know what to do with. Because when I trained in writing, I was such a young kid going, oh, I don't need to plan, I can just do shit on the fly, it'll be fine. And it's not fine.
I've been learning to utilize when my hyperfocus kicks in.
Oh, dude, same. But sometimes, okay, so here's the thing, though.
There's different levels of hyperfocus. There'll be the hyperfocus where I'm just like, oh, I can be on camera right now and I can do heaps of stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's the gremlin mode. I don't want to be on camera. I don't want people to see how I live, like the Lenny's house falling down. Like,
please don't tell anyone how I live. Yeah.
Like that. that's my writing mode.
Oh yeah.
That's me like on the computer, like tapping away, just writing scripts, and then I've got those saved so that when productive Elliot comes in.
I think that's such a good way to like work with your brain, not against it, because I also do that. But because I got that fresh hot depressy that I had to manage before I even got my meds, I would be in a vicious cycle where every month I would have that cycle, but I couldn't get an end result because it took longer than the month, right? And then I would just get sad. But I think you've done it in a really, really good way.
I call this weaponizing my procrastination, because my method of keeping my house clean and the sink and the dishes done is that if I hit that mode, I just go, oh, here's a task that I can do and get tangible results, and I can look at it and be like, fuck yeah, I did this. And so I've learned to weaponize it for that purpose, but I have to do what you're doing now too. So
here's what mine did instead. I went, I should edit this video into vertical, and then instead I went, I should put captions on this though. So in 2 hours, I entirely learnt the entire process of how to automate a caption in Premiere, edit it, alter it, make a transcript, and then put it on the horizontal video that was already done.
Is it super hard to convert on?
It was more that
I don't use.
It was more that
program.
I edited it in a way that I have to now remove all the assets into vertical to make it sit properly. I can't just take the horizontal and make it bigger.
No, but I mean, like, in because I use DaVinci because I'm cheap.
You're
in that you're
smart.
You can just change the aspect ratio. Like, you can just be like for vertical content, and it'll just. So can you just do that and then just move the assets around?
So yes, kind of. But what I'm saying is, like, the way I've edited the horizontal is the jokes and editing are across the 16:9. So now I have to split them up into a way that they fit on a 19:6, a 9:16. So now it's a matter of like, okay, well, the jokes don't work properly because I'm using the entire horizontal frame and they don't translate, because it would just, like, if it was a slide transition animation, right? It would slide wrong because it would be like on top and bottom instead of like in one frame. So now I have to like move all of that around, which means I've got to reanimate all of it.
Interesting.
Because I'm stupid and decided to do the horizontal first, and I shouldn't have even made a horizontal.
I do the horizontal first, like when I'm doing my shit, because that's the easier format to work with.
Yeah, it is. I guess it's just like,
and you can get the vibe going, and you don't have to worry about like TikTok UI or Reels UI.
I have templates for all that.
So do I, but like you end up just having that middle space is the best zone. So it's just like it's not necessarily like a vertical format, it's more of a square format.
Yeah. What I also need to do is I need to film, because you got the open gate, right? So your footage is naturally out, like cropped out.
When I use that camera,
there is no crop out in Barovia. It's like you either have a bit of the frame or you don't. Because of the way that overlays have to sit. There's no extended part of the overlay where Ash is. So if I need Ash to be a certain size, suddenly their window is cut off on one side, because if I line them up properly, they drop off. So what I have to do is I have to add a crop effect and a feather and make them a little box instead. There's no just slap it in, resize it.
What I tend to do is I just put I duplicate the layer.
I do too.
And the one that's behind, I just scale it up a bit and blur it.
I have done that as well. I think it's just for me, the time edition of all of that turns something that I want to be like a 5-hour edit into like a 3 to 4. No, sorry, not a 5-hour, a 2-hour edit into like much more time than I end up going like, was this worth it?
Yeah. Yeah,
I think that's it. It's like the time
sink.
You
want to be able to bang them out.
That's it. And so far, I've been able to not bang out more than one, and this one is still not done.
It's all right.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. It's I think that's why I struggle making short form.
I think you have those months where you can just get a lot of stuff done. And February, I notice it a lot in the creator space. February is like January, February. They're the big months for like, there's a lot of anxiety going around. Like I can't create content because everyone's had a break.
Yeah, you got to get back into it.
And then they've got to get it back into it, and they can't, and they struggle with it. Like I struggle with it too.
Yeah.
And you just have that anxiety about like,
also,
I can't make the thing, but it's like you can. It just you got
to do it different.
You can't go 0 to 100.
Yeah. Well, I've got because so I'm talking to Fortress for the next charity run, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to get ahead of that curve for April, May, but I'm also like a month and 4 days from now I go overseas. So I'm like, well, March is spent. Like March is done for me.
Yeah.
So like I either do stuff this month or April at this point.
Yeah. Oh,
it does really sound like. Oh, sorry. It does really sound like you're describing a hangover, right? You've had like a blinder at Christmas, and you've woken up next day going like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" And you spend the next 2 months just coming down from it.
That's it. I'm like, I don't want it to take 4 months to get my ass in gear, I guess. I don't know. I
mean, if it makes you feel better. I've taken 5 years, so you know.
Fair enough.
If it just makes you feel better.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, a little bit. But I don't want to be like, you know.
You are doing weekly shows of like, you do your stuff here.
Yeah, like, I guess. Yeah, I think it's the, you know, when you get used to something and managing it, that it becomes like easy like that. And then you start going like outside the realm of that. What can I do? Maybe it's that. Like, I've got this on lock. All right, what's the next thing?
I think that's the danger of people like us, especially when you get things on lock, like, you know, like a job, or I mean, what you're doing is a job, right?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. If it doesn't, if it doesn't stay consistent, then there's a monetary incentive to be like, get your ass in gear.
Yeah, and so like at the same time, where that kind of panic reflex of, oh shit, I need to do this, can help you get things done, there's also a deleterious effect to that, because that's a lot of stress.
Oh yeah.
On your system, and even though, you know, we all have our various things going on, right? And even though your system is slightly wired that way, we are still operating our busted operating systems on the same hardware as everyone else. So we do, you know, just crash and get fucked up, and it's not great.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very aware of that one. I watched a mate just go like, I'm canceling every project because I need to stop, and then they just had to like hard reset and either come back to it later or start new ones and drop the old one.
Ugh.
Which sucks in a different way, you know.
Yeah, I had to do that January.
Oh yeah.
I just had to stop. There was that like 2-3 week period where I just had to stop everything, and that was just that was just all of January.
Yeah, so fair.
That's rough, brother.
And that's the hard part. Those are the hard ones to come back from, because you're just like, oh, I feel like I'm starting from zero again, but realistically, you're not.
Also, we're living in like a 10-year week every week, watching America just slowly implode from the inside. It's just so
I don't
strange.
know about you. I cannot watch it for my own mental health. I keep updated, but then once I'm updated, I'm like, that'll do.
I think
where are my dumb
that's
cat videos?
I've barely been looking. It's not I've been barely looking. I've been barely interacting with social media for the same reason. I'm like, what can I do right now other than support my friends in this? Because I have only so much I can do in terms of fighting basically the American regime from a country that will support them in certain aspects of it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, I'm gonna stick up for people and speak out and shit like that. But like, it is hard to manage that and also your other shit going on. And so like, taking a dip from social media. Like, I've barely been posting this month, and I don't like that my feed is just, I'm going live, I'm going live, I'm going live, but it, like, right now I'm like, I need it. Especially, like, there's house stuff going on, and I got other shit to worry about.
It's valid, man.
Yeah.
It's totally valid. Like, I had a similar situation some months ago with the unfortunate goings on in Palestine. And I was really getting depressed about it because if you may not know, Elliot, but I'm Middle Eastern, so seeing all that play out, it was incredibly difficult.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
So one of my friends in the States, he's this lovely man you may or may not have heard of, called Jesse Jerdak. He's incredible. I love that guy.
I don't know Jesse. I know of Jesse. Yeah.
Yeah, he and I are good friends. We don't speak all the time because obviously, but anyway, his wife.
We know each other, yeah.
Yeah, his wife is Lebanese, and anyhow, he really wanted to do some good for it, and so he set up this literally a D&D live stream to raise funds for Doctors Without Borders. And so what I did was, I couldn't really do much. I felt helpless, so I helped him by starting a fan channel for his Discord.
Oh, fun.
And I run that for him, and they raised like $30,000 for
Oh, dope.
So yeah, and so I had very little involvement with that besides just organizing people on a Discord, right? But
yeah.
You can put your shield up and just sort of peek around the corner and be like, hey, I did this cool thing.
Yeah, and it's like, I know, like, the like, what can I do? I'm just one person argument is like, it's a bit cop-outy, and I realize that. I think it's like, yeah, stuff like that, what you're saying is fantastic. Because it is something that you're doing, even if... Sorry, when I say that, I'm not lessening what you're saying. I think I was just... I was reflecting on what I just said in terms of, like, yeah, what you're doing is something. It's not going to, like, change the minds of the politicians who are genuinely evil, but you are still supporting... You're supporting good.
Yeah.
Net good.
I think it's okay to sit there and realize that, as just a regular person, you have your very little teeny tiny bit of reach that you can do. But if you do that little piece, that little thing of where you just message a mate and go, hey, how you doing? And when they go, yeah, fine, you go, no, how are you really doing?
Yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah, that can be just that little thing of where you did your little bit. There's only so much you can do, but when you had the opportunity and the spoons to do it, you did it.
I mean, that's why I am so passionate about doing these charity events. I think I'm like, I can only do them. I could do them more, but there's the factor of, like, people can only give so much, and I, at a certain point, at what time are you asking too much? So 2 times a year right now with Cure Cancer, with their bigger events, is working really well for that, and yeah, that fits into that realm for me.
That's what I found with charity events is, like, I mean, like, the charities will email all the time being like, hey, you want to take part with, like, we saw you did a really cool one last month. I'm just like, yeah, I can't do another one in the month after. People don't have money. Yeah,
it's like, especially, and like, if they do, it's like, selfishly, I also got to pay my bills. Like, unless the charity wants to help with my bottom line, you can only do so much unpaid work. Like, I don't, in terms of transparency, if people want to know, like, what this is like, I don't take a dime from these Cure Cancer things, and I'm putting in, like, I don't even want to think how many hours I'm putting into that thing, actually.
You're putting in months of organization and
unpaid labor.
Yeah, and like, thankfully, I have, wonderful folks like the person who just messaged me to go, like, hey, I want to play D&D with you again in a higher capacity and stuff like that. And then I've got some support from the stream. So again, the stream only ever goes into itself. Like, I'm not taking... The only time I take money out of that is, for example, when I did the subathon for my birthday. That was set up to be like, no, this is the treaty for Matt, because I'm doing a subathon and people are like, I'm giving you support specifically. And people would say that when they're donating, or be like, happy birthday. So it's like, those are the only times where I'm directly profiting from the channel. And then the rest of it is just going into sustaining the channel or doing an investment upgrade, like character art, gear. I've got a couple subscriptions like Epidemic Sound. I probably should put Adobe on the channel account, but I don't want Adobe to drain Kitty because it's Adobe. So I pay for that one personally. Etc., you know? So it's hard because then you know, as a creator who does it more as their job, and I'm sure you know this as well, Elliot, because you do it daily, like you gotta find a balance of like how much can you ask for while doing it for a charitable thing or a personal I gotta pay my bills thing.
Yeah, I have a level where it's just like I can't go below this level.
Yeah.
If I do, I have to start reconsidering
the full time
what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, if
You
mine
know what's
fully
really
dropped off
interesting?
as well, I would also have to do that.
Yeah, the really interesting thing for someone like me listening to you guys talk about all the logistics of what you do is I'm just a doofus who turns on Twitch, right? I have no conception. I can sit there and go, well, these guys must sit there and, you know, edit and blah, blah, blah. But I don't really know what that's like, right? That's because that's not my life experience.
So,
and
you want to?
Yeah, it makes you appreciate it.
Ask it. Literally ask us. Like, this is the perfect time to just go like, what do you do day to day? And I'm sure Elliot and I will have different things we do, but I can literally give you a day to day on the gig economy of my life. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I said that very very forwardly, but like, just like we can give you a rundown if you want to know like what it takes to do. And I'm not even a full-time, like Twitch is not paying the channel much. And I'm going to be very transparent about that. That's why I don't profit from the channel. It is sustaining itself. That is it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like I had to
like every so often.
Sorry.
I was going to say every so often, you know, me going, oh, I'll give the sub isn't going to like change the world, is it?
No, it fucking does. Straight up, it does so much. You have no idea
really?
just how much that one sub helps me. So I've had to pause. We had an editor for the last 6 months helping me edit our pre-recorded show, which a lot of people who have joined us in the last year or two don't even know that I have a YouTube that 4 seasons of pre-recorded half-an-hour episodic D&D episodes. Like, literally check it out. I think one's delisted because I hate how new we were at content and I can't stand it to the point where I can't list it. It's also disconnected from the rest of the plot, so whatever. We had to pause our editor for that because I was like, if I pay him for the full month this month, and he invoices every 2 weeks, if I pay him for the full month this month, we're in the red. So I was like, hey, you know, I can't do it. Let's pause it for a month or two. I'm going to go to Japan, so I can't even commit personal funds to this. Let's and they were like, that's so fine. Like, they already have a full-time job. They're not going to be like caught out on it. And I also gave them a heads up. But yeah, the point being, never underestimate how much simply like your $2 to $4 per person is doing. Like a month is so useful to us. You might have a different opinion, Elliot, but like from my standpoint, like I'm looking at my subs right now. I got the sub points is reflective of how many subs, right?
Yeah, so well, it depends on if there's like tier 2, tier 3, but most people don't have a lot of tier 2 or tier 3.
I assume tier 1, unless I know they've done it recently. We have, 44 sub points right now. So roughly 44 people are giving us, I think it's US $2.50 a month, which is absolutely great. Like on Patreon, if I could get $2 from like 100 people, that's $400 a month, you know? Or no, $2 from 200 people, or basically, you know, you just double whatever the number is. And so
I think you had it right. $2 from 200 people will be $400.
Exactly. And that is such a huge boon and helpful, you know, in terms of what we're doing, because that's 200 US as well, by the way. So at least 300 a month that you don't have to worry about something happening. Like that pays for the editor entirely.
Yeah.
I only get into do 6 hours a week at most because that was the drip feed of cash that we could afford at the time.
Gotcha. Because like when you guys were, oh sorry, go ahead, mate.
No, you go.
I was gonna say when you guys talk about doing those shows where you play D&D and all that kind of stuff, like especially when you and Leia were talking about Dragon Lords, because I love that module too. Every time I sit there and think to myself, oh god, I would love to do that. That sounds incredible. But like I have no idea how I would do it with, schedule, time, or anything else like that. As much as I would love to.
Actual play. So there. Okay. So there is, in my experience of doing streaming, there is streaming, and then there are the categories of streaming. Like you got your gameplay, or you've got your just chatting. The just chatting, I've noticed, you got to really plan what you're going to talk about a bit more, unless you're really good at just choosing a topic and going. And then you have like where I sit, which is actual play D&D, which means you need anywhere from 4 to 7 people who have a schedule that lines up, and that's for a one shot. And then you got to consider after that, how many sessions can you do, and is it weekly for ongoing, and how confident are you that people can't do it the whole time or can do it the whole time?
Yeah, okay.
So imagine scheduling your friends in a really broad stroke way. Imagine scheduling your friend's D&D session, except you have to do it at the same time every week forever.
Yeah.
That's or until it's done. But like the forever, put it in your mind, because we don't know when Barovia is going to finish. We've done 16, and we are not halfway through yet.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you mentioned that number 16, because I'm about to do my 16th session of my homebrew campaign in my game.
How long has that taken you to get there?
A year and a bit. I mean, we've been playing mostly like fortnightly consistently.
Yeah.
But then, pack, because the crowd I roll, the same as crowd as, parallel crowds, but then packs stop things. And obviously people take time off for Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So it's been like a year and a bit. And it's been great, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and I say this as nothing is like you don't do it, don't do any of this. I'm just like, I'm just laying it out. That if you, and I think you should, I think anyone who wants to do it, actually do it. Like give it a go. See if it's for you. Mostly, that's what I'm trying to get at. If you're like, I don't know what the work is, like we'll go like, here is how the work is. Would you want to do that? I
personally don't think I could do the DMing, the work, editing, and all the other shit that I do in my life. I don't think I could do it. I could play, I think, but I don't know about doing all that work.
So consider that. Plus, if you are the one show running it, or you don't have a team, or you don't have someone who's helping you with it, OBS, overlays, socials, chat, clips, posting, editing, casting. You're effectively show running it, so you're the producer, which means if something goes wrong, you have to deal with that. You're the DM, so you have to manage a game. You have to prep the game. You don't do what I do, and I don't recommend doing what I do and just picking up a book and running with it. That takes a lot of practice. But there is so much to specifically actual play that is a behind the curtain peel back. It takes me, even when we know what we're doing, it takes about 2 months for me to get it off the ground. And that's working a lot on it. But yeah.
I wish. I just, realistically, I don't think I could ever do it.
I think, here's the thing. Try a one shot. Do a one shot. See if you can do a one shot. And then do like a 3 episode. And then do like a little longer. Like Dragon Break, we intentionally went into it 10 episode season. And then when we come back in April, probably another 10 episodes. Maybe like 1 more, 1 less, 2 more at most. Because the way we set that show up and the way I really like doing that show is that we do a really tight arc and then we stop. And we regroup and see what we liked and what we didn't like. Barovia is intended to be more casual. We just happen to have 3 full-time content creators on it, so there's a different dynamic to casting in that one, because we didn't have to worry about with any of the cast. We already knew that they were people who are in the space and playing games a lot. 2 of them aren't full-time. The other 3 are. So it's like the casting is also super important because you need a good dynamic. You got to have a session 0. You got to have a practice session to make sure they're all okay as well. And then the commitment is on top of that. Commitment's what kills it. Currently setting up a show. Yeah, John gets it. John Saz, gets it. Saz literally plays with us in Barovia. I know so many people in our direct circle that kind of get it. And if you see, like, some people have killer overlays and stuff like that, and that takes time, and then if you can't design it, there's money. You gotta pay someone, because if you can't do everything yourself for free, you're in the red immediately off the bat.
That's where most of my time is spent, is in learning shit.
Yeah.
It's just, how do I do this? So, because I can't pay somebody to do it.
That's it. And like, if I want my pre-recorded show to get out, it's nearly been, and I'm going to be, I hate the fact that it's taken this long, but the fact is, I can't edit that thing anymore. It's too big, and I don't have the bandwidth to sit down and do it because my brain screams at me when I think about it in terms of how much work I would have to do. So paying someone with a small amount of money, like the last 6 months, they have edited 11 episodes so far. There's way more than that. They've edited 11, whereas I had edited 1 in probably the same amount of time. Because you're on your own disappointment schedule when you're doing it yourself.
I'm just laughing at disappointment schedule.
It is, though. You're self-accountable, but if you don't hold yourself to it, you're only hurting yourself. Ran the adventure in person with a different group before we started to stream it. Yeah, see, that's good. But yeah, if you think you want to give it a go, none of this is don't do it. You should do it, in fact. Because then you know if you want to do the occasional one or you want to give it more of a go.
Yeah. It's something that I really want to think about, but the other thing is that I don't want to overcommit because I have a habit of going, I would love to do all these 15 things.
Choose one and only do that one. And if you don't enjoy doing that one till completion, find one that you can, or work on a couple at a time, but just don't be upset if you don't get them all done, and you drop some. I've dropped 4 projects in the last year because I was like, I really want to do this, and then I just kind of lost the groove on it, and I just stopped. And I was like, And that's another reason why
is
sorry.
Content creation is 90% just trying stuff that never sees the light of day.
Yeah. I have
so many unfinished projects that no one even knows about.
Yeah.
Because I'm just I got halfway through, I'm just nah, this ain't it.
I had when I think the D&D movie or something's coming out, when George went on Beauty and the Geek, actually is probably the good time scale for it. We were making a how to play D&D series, which only had 1 episode come out. And then now it's completely irrelevant because the new rule set dropped. So I just deleted the footage recently because I was like, well, this now can't come out because it's not helpful, in fact, detrimental to learning the game of D&D because the rule has changed. Some of it's the same.
But now that opens up the room for
another one.
The new one, though.
If I want to do it at all.
Is that something you'd want to do?
In a short form more than a long form, yeah.
That'd be interesting to see, how you could format that.
Yeah. I've seen short form. I've seen the D&D main channel do it. It's basically at its distilled form. D&D is you have a setup, you have a decision, and then you have a payoff. They don't say it in those words, but that is what D&D is. Describe a scene. Players decide what you want to do. Sometimes there's a roll, then there is a result. And then you just do that over and over again.
I could see that that content and that format doing really well with something like Dagger Heart that's coming out. What is it, May? Because I was glancing at Dagger Heart.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah, I'm sure they've messed with it in the meantime, but I've like taken a few brief glances at the rule set, and there's stuff that I look at. I'm just like, oh, I really like that. But I'm not sure about you, but I can be a bit weird about picking up details of systems until I've had a chance to play with it in an actual game.
I need to be hands-on with it.
Yeah, I need to be hands-on with it.
I can't just digest a book.
Yeah, I'm the same. But there's stuff that I like about the whole the hope and the fear dice or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
That's a cool mechanic.
I think so. Yeah.
Because it reminds me of rules. Oh, I haven't even seen that.
It's like player character combo moves.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, you spend like a currency. It might be like the fear, or it's like that special fear dice or something. You can spend extra ones to basically do like, and there's no like preset thing. You just say, I want to do a tag team move, and it becomes like freeform roleplay, but you can just flavor it with your abilities. So you can be like, can I do this in conjunction with this? And there is consideration of gameplay around it. Like in D&D, you could do that because the rules are flexible enough. But this has like a built-in, this is the way to go about that.
I love that. I love the whole idea of the fear and hope resources, because I think it's like if you get a good thing, you generate a hope point, and then you can use that to do certain things and blah, blah, blah. The thing I like about it is that it reminds me of some of the mechanics I used to be vaguely familiar with Vampire the Masquerade. Like with their partial success or their critical success and all that sort of stuff. I was like, oh, that's really sick. I love that.
Yeah. I've actually not played Vampire. I got asked a couple times and I just couldn't make it work schedule-wise. But yeah, no, it's a cool looking system. I would love to just dive into it one day and make a bunch of bad decisions. Because I'll get it wrong mostly.
Well, I think that's the point of Vampire, though. I've only played it once, and it was fun. It actually creates a really different vibe than D&D, in a way where people get very character focused because the mechanics are character focused. So you get character focused.
Yeah, I've heard.
But I've only played it the once, so I can't really speak with any kind of authority. However, Dagger Heart having that and having that sort of vibe that a lot of people vibe with, the whole fantasy heroic stuff, is a great deal of fun.
Yeah, I think it's a cool one to try a few times. And Critical Role is immediately people who like their system, and I because they just finished campaign 3, I wouldn't be surprised if their marketing team and they're gearing up to make campaign 4 or whatever in that system, because it's going to release whenever it does, and I have a feeling they're going to campaign 4 in that.
Of course they would, because then you have to worry about it's their thing, but also then you don't have to worry about any weird Wizards of the Coast blowback anymore.
That's precisely why they made this, because they were like, oh, Wizards are going to keep coming for us forever, eventually, we should just not do D&D. And that was a huge realization for a lot of people, being like, oh, don't put all your eggs in one basket, which, I've known forever. And that's why I don't go I'm only going to play this one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Without wanting to get dragged into weird wizard stuff, but I wholly agree with you. I think that's wise.
You can be critical of Wizards, but Wizards supports us all the time. But I'm not gonna not be critical of things when they make bad choices, Yeah. I feel like it's just why? I'm just gonna one. I have a good relationship with them, and I'm sure if the higher up CEOs saw some of the stuff, I'd be like, yeah, all right, well, fair. But for the most part, it's I'm not actively being fuck them. I'm just I have problems with some things, but overall, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because, they make my job possible.
Yeah, I know you and I have spoken about this privately before, but
yeah,
I think it's fine to be if they have a problem, hey, you say, hey, Wizards, you've got a problem. But if they do something good, you'd be like, hey, they had a problem, but then they've tried to fix it, and their solution is okay.
Yeah, and
so
you can't ever trust a corporation. You just can't.
Of course.
So there will always be the inkling of a feeling of like, here is something nice, and you're like, what's the catch? Like, you can't trust, and you shouldn't trust any company implicitly. You just shouldn't. A recipe to let them take advantage of you and your money.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, of course, but there's nothing wrong with a bit of enlightened self-interest.
Yeah, you're allowed to enjoy things. A lot of people are allowed to enjoy things. You know, it's unfortunate that some of the people at the top of these franchises are like just not good people. You can do what you can do. Yeah, I don't know.
You're cheering to the choir here on my front.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think anyone's disagreeing. I think it's just like I'm just posturing. But I'm really liking how all my bloody dragons are coming out.
Oh, I had to turn the stream off because I was hearing you twice, and I'm doing this on my phone because I'm working. Fair. I have not been able to watch anything.
Nah, you're good. You're good. I know.
So if anyone's been adding me, I'm sorry, everyone. I haven't been able to see what you've been saying.
Well, so John just said Wizards in the Coast and Critical Role is quite interesting. They had to change all the monsters in the animation to avoid copyright concerns. I mean, smart move. You just don't know who's going to be litigious because, like, you have used stuff that's not even trademarked or copyrighted, but you've used the art style, and suddenly they're like, you stole our thing. It's like, well, not really, because this is a depiction of something. It's not like this is what this looks like, because you also have no say to be like, this is definitively what it looks like.
Yeah, it's like they can own a Sphinx, right? But at the same time, even if, like, I would say in their shoes, I would have done the same thing, even if there was no hint of Wizards behaving like that, because...
You just don't know if they will.
Why? Yeah, and you can just sidestep the problem, and then it's just never a problem.
Yeah, it's like why it's the preventative chance rather than the reactive, because if you're getting reactive, then they may already have something against you there.
Yeah,
if they're being litigious, they think they can win.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned that, because I actually have heard them speak a fair bit of... Because I remember, speaking of Critical Role, they got criticized when they sat down at one point and said, you know, we need to stop reacting and start getting on ahead of this and actually, like, plan into the future and, like, develop a strategy and everything. And so they restructured and they got more business like it. And people were like, oh... They've sold out. They've gone pro or corporate or whatever. And it's just like,
if you want them to keep making it as their job, I got no problem with people selling out.
When you reach a certain size, and people's livelihoods depend on, like, hey, did we make that thing this week? Like, you do have to sort of. There needs to be that more of a corporate structure, unfortunately.
Yeah.
To keep people, not to keep people accountable, but to keep the process accountable, so that the thing actually gets made.
Well, yeah.
It's like,
that's a lot of people attribute like indie development or like indie projects as like, oh, it's fast and loose, but it's like, no, like we need to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of planning and a lot of like stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, indie stuff is just you have less money, the same amount of work.
You've probably got more amount of work because
it's less.
Can't.
Well, I meant same amount of work
more work
overall
for each person.
Yeah, that's more what I meant.
Yeah,
but
I just get very bemused by people being like, I don't want to be mean, but sometimes you hear people say shit and you're just like, oh, you're just not serious.
Yeah,
like you're just not being serious right now.
Trolling, or they just like it is always a thing people will always do, is to shit on something that is cool or can be perceived as cool or mainstream, because that's how some of us are wired. We have to just not do the conventional thing. So, you know, some people would be like, I don't like Critical Role because it's too blah blah, or to this, or to like, and there'll be insert X thing here. It's like, that's cool, you don't have to engage with it, but don't, like, if you're doing it because it's popular and because they have to have like accountability and corporate to it, or you know, they have to be considerate of other people. It's like, well, now you're just kind of being a dick.
Could you imagine?
You're never gonna satisfy everybody,
No.
so you just make the thing in the end of the day. Just do the thing.
Yeah.
The best advice I ever heard was just make the thing that you want to see. Like, make the thing that you yourself would want to watch.
Yeah.
That is all you need to do.
I was just going to add to that, and I agree with that sentiment, by the way. I was going to imagine you take a job for this company and it's full time or whatever, and you look around and go, geez, this is going pretty good. And so you're like, you know, you and your partner or whatever put in a loan for a house or something like that. And then like 6 weeks in, someone just goes, oh yeah, sorry guys, we weren't organized, and so we just blew this whole thing up. Good luck. Like, you'd be ropeable.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like, it's why you never hear, or you only hear like potential horror stories of you're like, oh, me and my friends all bought a house together. It's like, better be friends for the rest of your life then, you know? If that works out for you.
Oh, it's a little side tangent. I've been I watched a lot of DIY, like YouTube, like I bought a house and I'm gonna renovate it.
I'm gonna flip this house.
Yeah, like sort of grand designs, but like YouTube. And like, damn, there's this one guy, and like I don't mean to shit on him, but like he's early 20s, like very very young, and like he is good at flipping houses, but he's offering advice that I'm just like, that's bad advice.
Yeah.
He's just like, did you know that you can go with like that you can be like, you don't have to be in a mortgage by yourself. Like, you can have as many guarantors as you want. You can add your brother, your sister, your girlfriend. Like, you can just get everybody financially invested in your endeavor. I'm just like, my God, no.
It's not exactly advice, it's more of shifting accountability from yourself to more people. And when it fails, if it fails, it's not just your fault.
Yeah. Well, because his was that he was doing the stuff all himself.
Yeah.
So he was renovating the place, but if something happens to him and then like, or if the other people can't pick up their part of the loan, that's how like you ruin those relationships. Like,
you just can't
fast away.
You just can't mess with money stuff.
No, it's like, don't like, and I was just like, no, you gotta ruin all of your, like, don't follow this advice, kids. You gotta ruin your relationships.
Yeah.
Under no circumstances would I do that with a friend or anything, unless there was like a clear, because you can set up a trust and the trust will have rules and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
No chance I would ever do that without that being in place, just because it's just like, these are the rules, we all agree to them, we all play by them. And then that way no one
contracts, like, on top of a trust, I would be like, signed contracts, like, in no uncertain terms, this is what's required, this is what's gonna happen in the event of bad, this, like, no stone unturned, and then make sure everyone has known it, signed it, and approved it.
Yeah.
I just think it's a real quick way to lose your friends. Because
if
somebody
100%.
has a so life happens, and like, the more people who are involved, the more chances of life happening.
There's all the strange one as well of like the YouTube content houses I see, and I like the concept sounds great. You all help each other make your content and shit, but like, which one of you is going to benefit most from that?
Yeah.
Which one has the biggest following and therefore brings in the most money that you all now have to work on their thing?
Well, that's the thing. This one I was watching, he was the only guy on it. So the other people were just money people. They were just it was confusing me. I couldn't get my head around it. But he did say that they worked in, like, these were people who worked in finance, and he did give off very like private school energy, and I was like,
I was about to say, you just need everyone to go on your mortgage with you after my parents have given me half of the money for the house. Like, it was like,
yeah,
just do this one simple trick and you can be a multiple property owner. It's like, is it after a family member died or this person received a substantial portion from their relative of some kind? Or did they win the lottery? Like, stuff that is not attainable or doable for most of the public.
There's a version of this style of content that's about, like, it's targeted at older women, and it's all like, you know, this person will be like, I own this massive farm on this Hawaii island or something, like, you know, or in Tahiti or something, and I planted all of these trees and these plants, and every day I have an infrared sauna and I do this yoga and that's my job, and look at all these plants that I you know, and all that kind of shit. But, you know, behind the camera, what you don't see is all these locals who've been paid like 2 cents an hour to actually do the work
behind the
while
camera.
She sits there and while she sits there and does, like, you know, downward dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I also want to state as well, like, we say full-time content creators. I am not getting paid like an average full-time wage. I want that to be very clear with everyone as well. Like, we're not in a regular wage range. We are sustaining. We are not in surplus.
I pay my bills. That is what I do.
Yeah, I'm very, very fortunate that living with Jess has enabled me to save money in a way that we can go to Japan. But, like, after this trip, I don't think we will be doing a trip this big for at least a few. Like, there is not that we're going on a holiday next year. Like, in no way. It'd be like we have to seriously consider where we want to go next. Like, would love to go to Gen Con, but I don't think until that bastard is out of office, I will not set foot in America right now.
That's yeah.
But, like, the next one I would do is be like, I want to go see my US friends overseas, but, like, it's genuinely not safe anymore. Hey, Grimdark, how you doing?
Hello. It's also not like the odd thing is that it's also not safe for them, and they live there.
No, that's it. It's like I feel so much for them, but I'm also not going to go there because I empathize. Flesh Terror is cool. But yeah, it's like I'm not going to go there to be like, oh, I'm here with you. It's
I'll
like
be right back.
I could just not go, but still empathize and support.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Unfortunately, as much as you would love to catch up with people that you know and all of that kind of thing, because, you know, we all have, you know, it's the modern age, right? Post 2000s, we all have those friends. You know, you've been friends with for 20 something years.
Care about, you know, this parasocial. Even if it's parasocial, you're like, I want to make sure this person that I, you know, have some form of attachment to is okay.
Yeah, it's deeply fraught with peril because on the one hand, making these relationships does deepen your sense of self, because obviously there's never a harm in making a friend with someone and having a genuine bond with them, but at the same time you can legitimately harm yourself if you're not careful with regards to
I mean, that's just the process of making friends generally, right?
Yeah, and it's brutal. I honestly don't know what to do besides be supportive in
sometimes like being
ways.
an ear or a place that someone can vent or listen, that is huge, you know.
I know.
Why? So if someone's ever like, if I know someone's having a bad time, I'll always just offer. Be like, even if they're not going to take it up, or I know they're not going to take it up, I'll be like, if it helps and if the floor is there for you, type thing. Like that's sometimes just even knowing that someone's thinking of you is enough for you to not spiral.
Yeah.
You know, that's even if something as small as you're just having a bad day. You know, that's why I was coming on this stream either way, because I was like, even if I only got like half an hour with Leia today, I was like, I would rather do this and talk to people who want to see me and talk to me. And I don't care about like the numbers or anything like that. and it stopped me dwelling all day on how shit that meter away from me is.
Yeah. And I remember you had an issue with an appliance at home as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
hey Evan, how you doing? Welcome in.
I'm back.
You mean like an appliance, like a dishwasher?
Well, yeah,
No,
I used to want to
machine. Fuck, I forgot about the laundry. Fucking Christ,
Yeah.
it's been a
Washing
week,
machine.
guys.
I just didn't want to share those details in case that wasn't public.
I posted the picture of it as we finally went live an hour or so later on Tuesday night.
Okay.
No, yes, I very much was like, be nice to us. We just had our dishwasher, our washing machine flood the laundry. Yes, no, I was public about that.
Okay, cool. Because I think I said when you posted that, I was like, oh man, my my toilet flooded, and just I had to go down there and clean all that up, and I was just like, speaking of shit house.
Fair. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I feel for you, brother. I feel for you.
Rough, you know. What can you do
What do you
sometimes? All right, we got Fugan down there now. How you doing, Evan? What's good? Thanks for joining us.
By the by, just conscious of your time, weren't you saying that you were going to be done around nowish?
Now I'm vibing.
Because I'm cool to chill, but
we got the exterminator coming over, so if I don't wrap up, I'm going to wrap up at 2 at the latest, I think, because they said they were going to come around 2 or just onwards. So if I haven't finished by 2 and they get here, I'm just going to wrap up real quick. Otherwise, I'll be here till 2, I reckon, because I'm having a good time.
No dramas. Roger the Apple Dodger.
Yeah. I'll just raid out to someone easily. Like, I got another window open. And then I'll just go, bye. But not that quick. So these guys are that color. He is similar color, but very slightly darker, more red. I might add a touch. I don't love putting... Can't put contrast... I don't even know why I prepared this, but I can't put contrast paints in this palette because it will ruin the webbing on it. But Elliot, how's content for you, I guess? Because I was coming at it from a very actual play side of things. Elliot? We have lost him. We got you as well, Cham? No, I'm...
No, yeah, I just
alone.
been muting myself so you don't have to hear me tapping when I'm working.
Oh, so fair. I think we have lost an Elliot wherever they've gone.
Oh, well, they did say they were back.
Oh. Maybe they muted
I heard them say... Yeah, maybe. Oh, whatever.
That's fine.
Oh, sorry, not whatever, but just, all
He'll
good.
be back. Maybe.
Yeah. By the way, I hope...
I'm here, sorry.
Were you muted?
No, I said I was back, and then I was like, oh, I need a drink, so I got up to have a drink, and then the puppies had made a mess, so I was cleaning up the mess.
That's so fair.
Right.
Yes, I'm going to have
Very
to.
fair.
I'm going to have to.
And I had my headphones on, and I could just hear, so Elliot. I was like,
Yeah.
my
You're like-
worst fear.
I'm not here. You're okay.
What was the question?
I know. So I said I know. I was talking a lot about specifically the process of actual play production and streaming. I was gonna say what's as someone who does I would say quote unquote the more traditional form of streaming as your job. What's your perspective there?
My stuff is first up, Twitch isn't my main income anymore. My main income is through sponsored content and stuff like that.
This falls in the realm though, right?
It falls in the realm because what it ends up being is that I amass an audience by making stream content or other silly little goofy content. That's how people know me. And then brands are like, oh, this person has an audience. We would like to utilize that audience. And then when they're like...
I would still argue, though, that it is content creation and that's part of your business model.
It is. It's just that the paycheck from Twitch is less and less each.
Yeah, fair.
Like that's what I was getting at. Like the actual money side is like Twitch ends up being less and less.
Yeah.
Because don't put all your eggs in one basket, sort of thing. And
that's I guess that's what I was getting at. Because like in that sense, that's why I don't say like the Twitch is paying me. I'd say the Twitch is paying the channel. But I'm still, I would still consider myself a full-time content creator and DM.
But yeah, in terms of just like content and stuff like that, my goals have shifted a little bit where I'm gearing up to make more video-based content, and like the live content, it is just kind of informed by that. If that makes sense. So that's why I'm like doing like Zelda Wednesdays, where I'm just like I'm slowly making my way through all the Zeldas, because one, I know like that's the only way I'm gonna make it through all the Zeldas. If I just tried to power through them all, I would get tired.
Yeah.
Like, whereas like it's a little bit of just like, this is a fun thing to look forward to, even though it views typically less than my other content. Where like it's just a nice little break, and it helps not burn out, which is a very big thing.
Well, that's why I still do. That's why I do this stream, and that's why I don't cancel stuff that I want on the regular, because those ones are for me. Like the me and Jess stream, like it probably performs the lowest, but we don't care. Yeah, that's our thing.
Yeah, the fun thing about where I'm at is because I am a partner, and I got partnered during the sort of COVID peak where there were a lot more viewers at home. So my flavor of content was a lot more like people really didn't want to turn on the news, and all the like all TV was just like COVID, and like people did not want to see that. So like they just wanted to see something that wasn't that, and I was specifically being like, oh, I want to make a space where people can be like, I don't like we acknowledge what's going on. It's not like we were being.
It's not like you don't put your head in the sand.
Like we would occasionally we would talk about it every now and then, but the vibe was just that like we just want a little bit of escapism, and like we can provide that space. Like that's partly what led to me becoming a partner in that, just making relaxed, chilled content. That's what people needed at the time, so I got a viewership from that. Now, as people have gone back to work and gone back into the offices, like that lingered on for a little bit, because we had people would work from home for ages, and now big businesses are like, no, productivity needs to be worse. We need people to come back into office.
We're losing money on the rent we're paying here. Get in here.
Pretty much. Like that's literally
the whole reason. There's no productivity there. It's that they are losing money on the building.
Yeah.
So let's force our workers to be less good at their job and cost us money, and it's insane to me. It's insane.
Yeah. So yeah, like my viewership on Twitch is like slowly declined because I'm a daytime streamer. Like I'm well aware, like if I shifted my stuff to the evening or nighttime, I'd probably do a lot better.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would enjoy it as much because I wouldn't get to spend any time with my wife.
Exactly. That's why you don't see me doing a lot of evening stuff, because like I either work my gigs or I'm like well, if I just stream any more than like once a week in the evening, I don't see Jess. Because Jess has also got her own stuff going on. Like she's guesting on a stream every now and then, or like we just don't see each other. Like if we don't make
it's very easy. Like I worked a job where I streamed during. Sorry, I worked during the middle of the night, and Marnie worked during the day. We only saw each other for a couple of, maybe an hour a day. Like,
yeah.
And that's not a lot.
It's not, it's rough too. Like, cause that's like,
yeah.
It could affect
stuff. And so like
stuff,
when I left that, it was like, oh, I've got all this extra time. Like, yes, I could shift to a evening schedule and do better viewership wise and all that sort of stuff. But like, I'm not gonna give up the time I have with my wife.
Yeah.
Like every now and then, I'll be like, "Oh, are you okay if I like do an evening stream?" Or she'll be like, "Oh, I'm staying back an extra hour at work because of this thing." It's like, okay, like I'll just keep going streaming wise or whatever.
Yeah. Because every now and then Jess will get like some evening gig. She works full time, but like every now and then she works with like there's like booth things, like they had the Nintendo booths and stuff. Every now and then she'll get that kind of work. So she'll have, we usually try and work it out that I'll be already working if she gets them, but I'll be like, oh, if you're not doing anything, like I'm just gonna chill out. I might stream if I feel like it, but yeah, it works the same way.
But yeah, so like now that all of that is like, so I've been slowly declining for like the last like year or two. And so now the focus is like, okay, like I think this where I'm at, that's the baseline. I think honestly, that's like, I won't dip much below this unless I do like a major shift.
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of just like, okay, like what do I want to do? So it's just a different, like I'm just like, oh, I want to make more video-based content. So then the decisions I'm making are being informed by that. So now my stream content, it is very much go live and just do
vibe.
the thing. It's just the vibe. Like, because that's the baseline.
See, I went the opposite way.
And I'm fine with that. And then, like we talked about, I think it was last night, where I'm just like, I'm already partner. I already got that check mark. The stats don't bother me. That's why I can do a Barovia. Like I can rebroadcast the Barovia stream and be fine with that giving me like a 10-15 viewership. Like that's not
affecting your bottom line.
It's not affecting my stats, which I'm needing to, get partnered or whatever.
Yeah. And the stream together function is good, but yeah, if you split your viewers across it, then yeah, there is a risk of that. Which is why only we really were talking about it. Like I wasn't gonna like ask everybody on our stream to do it. It was like we're gonna mention it, and if anyone's like, oh yeah, I'll do that, then we'll be like, oh yeah, sweet. But like, I'm not gonna ask someone to tank their stats for our little D&D stream.
No. Well, because other people are like, I'm not saying this about anyone in particular, but like just in general, other people are more serious about stats.
Yeah.
And I too should probably be a bit more serious about statistics.
I'm sure if if I was chasing the numbers, I would make very specific decisions.
I am very strongly opinionated about like not chasing the numbers and just trying to make good quality content, even if fewer people see it.
It still sits in the make what you want to watch.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do that, I would go and just copy other people. Like
that's what I don't like. I never like the we're doing this for statistic reasons. Like, okay, well at some point you do need to care about community and like the sort of sentiment that you want to put out and all of these other things. Like if you go purely just for numbers, you're going to make the most generic thing that appeals to the broadest audience. And it's just like, I don't know. That making
You'll
that
be making
doesn't
the same
appeal
content
to me.
everywhere that already exists.
Yeah, making that doesn't appeal to me. That might appeal to some people, and that's great. I love that for them. I wish them nothing but success. But I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I can't make the same thing that 200 other people make, even if it is super viral. I don't enjoy that. And I really have to enjoy the thing that I have to do like all week. So I'm just not going to do it otherwise.
It's interesting that you brought that up because as just a consumer, right? I turned 40 last September, and then immediately my algorithm tried to like force feed me down the Joe Rogan rabbit hole. And all my advertising was, hey, do you want to cheat on your wife? And I was like, no, I like my wife. That's why I married her. And I fought the algorithm really hard until the shorts put me onto this that pirate software person who speaks
Thor,
pretty candidly. Yeah, like whatever their name is, who speaks pretty candidly about what they did to amass pretty rapidly, as far as I understand it, their viewer base or whatever. And they were just like, oh, there are all these streamers around at this time, so I'm just going to start streaming when no one else is really streaming. So he started streaming a lot in
that's really good advice.
Australian times. And he just did all these things, and he actually lays it out in a couple of his shorts. But then, because I was trying to, jump on a life raft away from, that style of unfortunate content, my feed became him constantly for a bit. And he speaks very entertainingly about this topic, about how he was just like, I think he was like an Infosys kind of guy, like security.
Oh, yeah, he's like the data, cybersecurity. He's got some fucking cool stories.
Yeah.
I don't know if
and he was just talking,
but I've heard of the cybersecurity stories.
He seems okay, but I barely consume this person's content.
Yeah.
But it was my life raft, you know what I mean?
Like I said, I don't go by my word. Like, I just don't. If I don't know the content creator, like as if I watch them all the time, I'm just like,
It's probably for the best, considering how some of these people behave.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
It's just interesting contrasting your story there, Elliot, with that person's story, because obviously that was a concern for them.
So, I think because I've seen his stuff as well. He's very informed. He's very knowledgeable. Like, he puts out very well thought out, crafted little pieces, right? Like, he is speaking truth there. Like, where I sort of differ, it's like that works for maybe somebody his size, right? That sort of plan and structure, but also that plan and structure will only work for a limited period of time. Like the thing that I used to get partner and sort of get more followers, you can't really do that anymore just because things change. Unfortunately. Yeah, the meta will always change, and it's always that annoying stuff. But yeah, the fundamental things that he's talking about are they're genuinely very good, and they're not really honing in on data, right? That's just being oh, there are less streamers here. I'm gonna stream when there's less quote unquote competition, because you don't want to think of everyone else's competition, but just in general,
in
if
a way.
They are in a way, but not in the oh, I need to beat these people. But
no, it's in a way that you're making the RNG very slightly more in your favor.
Well, it's because on Twitch have what's called a kingmaker system, whereas if you're at the top of the category, the people who are searching that category, that's who they're going to click on.
Yeah.
People aren't going to scroll. So the idea is that you be on the top of those categories. Now, if you're in a smaller niched category, it's a larger audience, but you can still so that's why people say niche down and start with not the major games. But it's one of those ones. I think he plays, from memory, he plays a lot of World of Warcraft and stuff like that.
Plays a lot of MMO
creation
games with raids.
Yeah. So being in the top of MMO content, and people MMO content is filled with people who also watch that content.
Yeah.
So
Panda TV does really well with World of Warcraft.
Yeah. So you'll find that a lot of people who play World of Warcraft, they'll have a stream of somebody playing World of Warcraft in the background. And so that not every genre is the same. You're not gonna have that with Call of Duty, I find. There's it's different between categories. It's all the dynamics of Twitch are just super interesting. when you sort of break them all down into their little bits. And it's with cozy games as well, because that's my area. Stardew just does well all the time, and if you can get to the top, but it's also not a super saturated category, so you can get to the top of that category relatively easily, if you plan your streams and you produce content based around that that genre. But you can also find it hard to shift that audience over to other content as well.
Oh, I had a friend who does Critical Role content face that issue as well.
Yeah.
So the Critical Role content, people only wanted to see Critical Role content.
Yes. Stardew's pretty good in that Stardew people will typically watch other stuff, where there's one specific game. People who play and watch The Sims, they only play and watch The Sims.
Oh, yeah.
And it's super... You would think there would be a very large crossover between people who play The Sims and people who play, like, Stardew Valley. And there is. But they don't watch... They're completely separate circles in terms of what they watch. They either only watch Stardew or they only watch Sims.
Interesting.
So that's a very hard bridge to cross. And like, you can't be mad at people. I've been around a long time. I've seen people get mad at that. And like, you can't get mad at it because people are just going to watch what they want to watch.
Yeah, it's like, they're not stealing your views. About it.
Yeah. But no, like that, going back to that, like the Thor guy, he's very knowledgeable. And if he him gaming Twitch's system to be able to get to the top of like those major categories, like, yes, that will boost him to the degree he is at now. That it doesn't have the same effect in other categories.
What I really love about that guy, he's got this short, right, where like you were saying, he's very informed about a wide array of topics, but he shocked me one time when he explained to Americans what Goon of Fortune was.
Yeah, good.
And I sat there and I was like, how the hell? No, he's American.
He's American.
100% he's American.
He just
World
of Warcraft, things. They talk. Like, everyone knows everyone on World of Warcraft, so I think he'd probably just talk to Australians from there.
Yeah, fair.
But the other thing is that because he streams in off off-peak hours in America, inevitably, yes.
He's talking,
and so
it's the old Tumblr saying of like, oh, the Australians are out better, like, it's 2 a.m. and the Australians are out being weird.
Anyway, I am fascinated by like the logistics of things like that. I think that's what got me into painting. That's why I'm fascinated every time you start talking about like wet palettes and things like that, Matt.
Oh man,
because
this new one. Oh, so nice.
It's because I fell down into the rabbit hole of blacksmithing content a while back.
Oh, do you have like Forgeling by chance at all?
I haven't kept up with the format recently. Okay. I used to watch like Man at Arms and things like that.
Oh yeah, great show.
Yeah. But then when they start talking about like, you know, the techniques and how to spread the material, every time you're talking about, oh, this palette does this, the way this paint goes in, you know, the contrast is going into the nooks and crannies and it's shading this, I'm thinking of, this is like blacksmithing. It's like you're using the tools and the materials to spread the paint to get it to where it needs to go, and the qualities of the contrast paint means that this part will pull here and this part will be darker because of it.
Yeah. Like, you know your tools really well. Yes,
that's what's gotten me interested in painting, and that's beyond the fact that you and Leia are a nice company. This is what got me interested in the in paying attention to you guys, despite the fact that I don't paint.
Yeah, I mean, we set this show up very specifically to be like similar to what Elliot was saying. With like, we want this to be cozy because we're not only talking about paint. Like, I go on Warhammer lore things frequently, and it's called Good Morning RPG. But I would say like 90% of our content has been painting Warhammer. But we are RPG people, so you know it's a mix. It's a hobby show, but. You know, could we call it something else? Maybe to get like a different draw? Maybe, but I'm not gonna.
I think Good Morning RPG is like, I like that.
I do too. It sticks nice. It's like I found a really simple logo concept that I liked. you know, it used to have a color version where the dice looked like a sun, but didn't fit with the new style color of the overlay. But whatever.
I just the way you said that then made me think of like, just imagine what would it be like if you and Leia treated this like a breakfast radio show, but instead you're talking about painting and RPGs.
Today
it's
on
like
Good Morning RPG,
radio.
we're going to talk palettes. Which one's good and how much should you spend or not spend?
Yeah, get a couch. Get like
cozy.
both
cozy,
you get the same couch.
What's Nigel and Ruby's show called? Cozy Magic Club, but it's like RPGs.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, I've actually never watched that.
Couch, and then
great.
set up the camera direct in the same position. So then you split the camera. So both of you put on
we're just
either
like
side of the same couch.
Leia.
Yes. And what you could do is you could record noddies of each other just nodding along, but when you're not actually doing it, you could just play it. So one person is listening, and you just like every so often it's like a video of them just like they pause for 30 seconds and then they nod as if they're listening to your thing you're talking about. Oh my god!
How do you explain Tim Allen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have intrusive thoughts.
No, you're good. That's entirely what I do when I speak. I simply, as long as it's not offensive, let the intrusive thought out. Well, sometimes you'll hear me stifle it. Usually it's not bad, but sometimes I'll stifle it, and someone will be like, "What?" Be like, "Oh, I thought this was funny." And like, "Yeah, it was funny." Not for this conversation. Like, it's had nothing to do with what we were going to talk about, but it is funny. Okay, getting on near 2. So I did a little pack up, but I did want to show everyone what I've been doing. I ended up mixing. So for Fugan, his you can see his armor is actually slightly darker than the other lads. So I mixed a tiny amount of red into it. I think it went well because these guys are going to be like super neon orange, but he's going to be more of like a burnt orange color. You got like this, and then you've got Fugan here, who's also a bigger model, I might add. But very slightly differing reds. I wanted to see if it would be good. Sorry, oranges. I'm liking that.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
These are beautiful new models. Interestingly, the fire dragons, these ones, just the squad of them, almost none of their... So if you were to like put these side by side for their old ones, they would just be more detailed. The poses, in fact, one of them... Oh, I'm actually going to grab the other one. It is literally based on the old pose. Like, they have just made them in plastic and made them like nice and crisp rather than the metal casting.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I love how classic they are.
Yeah, so they're super cool. Because these are the 4th edition redesigns. Now, here is literally the model I did, 2 years ago. So this will be... Oh, I didn't do the lenses on this guy, but this is basically... So this guy here... You'll see him on my Instagram or something if you want to see it a bit more. But, like, this is how they'll turn out. And this is literally the same... Like, this is the metal one from however long ago. This is the new kit. They're just scaled up a bit better. That is it. But they give you the same parts, but just redesigned in this new style. But look, by and large, you could stick these together in the squad. Perfect. And now they're both just chucking a different kind of grenade. Actually, I think he's reloading, but you get the idea.
The way you have them...
They're holding hands.
They're holding hands, yeah.
They're sharing.
They're sharing the grenades.
They're sharing the love. They're sharing the nades.
Sharing the love before they destroy the tank.
A kiss. Yeah. Super crisp, super iconic look that hasn't changed since they designed them. There was one model before this where they kind of looked a bit more goobery, but we don't talk about that. Anyway, anyone got a suggestion for a raidy do?
Oh, my super's live.
What?
I said, let me see who's live, but I said it like an idiot.
You said it strange. I was trying to work out what you were saying, in fact.
I see Chimera Paints is live.
Oh, we raided Chimera last week. Oh, there's some big viewers today. Let's go over to Chimera. They're a good bean. But wait, what are they doing? They're doing building more bugs. Oh, they're building Tyranids. I don't know what they're doing right now. Who knows? Let's go over there anyway. They're looking at some website thing.
I think they're trying to pick screenshots and see like
maybe they're picking
what's the screenshot from.
Look, let's go over there, see what they're doing. And God, when am I on next? May. I think the next one's Tuesday. What day is it? Thursday. Yeah, I don't think there's anything on until Tuesday. So I'll see you on Tuesday in some capacity. And I'm gonna snooze that ad just so you don't have to see it as we raid out. But thank you everyone so much for joining. Thank you for keeping me company, and thank you for being nice to Leia as well when I was unable to join for like the first however long that was.
She did amazing.
She did great.
She did.
Great. I heard. Yeah. Oh well.
Thank you for having me, by the way. It's nice to meet you, Elliot.
Thank you both for joining and having chats with me.
My pleasure.
Yeah. All right.
Always a pleasure, Matt.
Let's get out of here. I'm gonna trigger that. I should have triggered that 5 seconds ago. But yeah, Tuesday daytime and evening probably, and then we'll see you then. Cheerio. Thank you, John. All right, I'm outies. I'm gonna talk to this exterminator. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.